what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to join the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate Forum, which you should definitely all join. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Speaking of Patreon, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon. So massive shout outs to Adrian Quintana, Alistair Main, Billy Highvolt, Burn Fat Till My Stomach is as Flat as the Earth, Chow Young Cat, Dank, Dave Rakia Gifford, David Wayne Foster, Edwin Johnson, Felix Hung, Fireball X, Godrockin, Jeranism, Kirsten Smith, Life is Short, Matt, Naibai, Qatar Craig, Reinhardt, Renee, Sally Ballis, Sam Hine, Skeptic936, Texas Mike, theflatearthchannel.com, Tina Baker, and Tom Herkins. So massive shout outs to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. Now I do have a fair few people in both Discord and G+, so I'll raise the mic on both of them while I set up for the first live show.
Spy, capital M, small r, full stop, BUCHAN.
Set up?
Nope.
I'm all set up now.
Good stuff.
So, did you get my message on Skype?
I did, I've just changed it.
Ah, perfect. So, might as well plug that straight away. This will be going out just after QE finishes, so hopefully we'll retain some of the Quantum Eraser audience. Hello to all of you from the Quantum Eraser audience, if you are. And after this show ends in a couple of hours' time, at 11 PM UK time, which is... what is that? Let me get it right. 5 PM Central Standard Time. Ranty's presentation from Brian, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, so Brian's been wanting to do a presentation now for the past few days, but obviously I can't stream live because obviously I have a problem with the internet connection at the minute. So hopefully that'll be being resolved this week, fingers crossed. In the meantime, so I've recorded a premiere with him, so we did it offline. So basically he's going over his sun speeds presentation. Now he did that, and what he normally does is he interacts with the comment section quite vigorously, I must say, whenever he's done a presentation. So if anybody has something to say to him, you know, if you come to my channel and you see one of his presentations, if you make a comment after the video has been released, he will generally get back to you and he'll answer the question. So a lot of the questions that were asked, repeated questions, he's gone back, he's addressed them, he's fixed them. And he's done a brand new presentation on sun speeds. I'd highly recommend people go and listen to it. If you know anything about Brian, he's very diligent with his work. So he's done a brand new presentation. We recorded it late last night, and it's being released tonight, 11 PM BST. Unfortunately, there'll be no interaction with the chat, you know, by us. I'll be in the chat talking, but I won't actually be able to respond to any comments that you might make in the side chat and ask Brian personally, because it's a premiere. But that will be the case going forward until I get the internet resolved.
Yeah, you can still interact. Will Brian be there? Will he be monitoring the chat?
I would hope so. You know, I mean, I would hope so. He normally is around about that time. I mean, it was late last night when we started recording. I think it was about 11 PM. I don't think we finished until close to 1 o'clock. So that was 1 AM. So he's generally around at that time, isn't he? Right. There's some funny bits in it as well, actually. Really funny bits. Cool. He made me giggle anyway. He wanted to finish his presentation whilst his uncle was choking to death in the next room. And I'm like, well, you know, just being, you know, honest here, I think you should really go and give him a check on, you know, just make sure he's all right, you know. Because he looks after him, you know. And, you know, so he's dying in the next room and Brian's doing his presentation. But yeah, so anyway, it was a funny part.
Hey, Righteous.
Hey, Nathan.
Hey, 10th man. I didn't say hello to you either, did I? Kind of did.
Yeah, I'm here. Good morning. Hey, Righteous.
Hey, Righteous. Hey, listen, I want to make a massive, massive, massive plea now for people who, obviously you've heard of the Globe Light Tour, right? But it is a massive undertaking by these people that are doing it. And obviously I'm going to be part of that tour later on. I'm sure there are a whole bunch of people that are actually going to do this relay leg through Europe. And it involves an incredible amount of people from huge distances. You're talking dozens of countries. And believe you me, the trolls are out in force, right? So when the Globe Light Tour was suspended for just like a week or a week and a half whilst they got things organized, there were so many videos that were put out, misrepresentative videos that were saying, oh, he spent the money or he hasn't just got the money for the advertising, to the stickers to go on the side of the tour. The tour's now been cancelled. Video upon video, people like Flat Earth Reset putting this bullshit out. Now, this is what the narrative goes. Whenever something goes slightly wrong, they make outlandish claims, they ridicule people, they say things that are untrue. Now, the Globe Light Tour is going ahead. It's actually in Estonia right now, right? So they're actually carrying on the tour, just as this said. Nothing's changed. The bus is fully stickered up with all the advertising that was people had paid for, put in place. Nothing's being scammed. There's nothing going wrong with it. The tour is going ahead just as planned. It's getting huge receptions everywhere it goes. But the community is sadly, with all this negative comments from the troll side, have basically put people off the tour. So I want to try and reinvigorate people to go across to the Globe Light Tour, support them. If you go to Roxanne the Globalist Deniers channel or Jason of the Didsbury Family's channel, you'll catch up tons and tons of the videos that they've been releasing of these live streams. They're desperately in need of support financially to carry on the tour. It costs a lot of money for this bus to actually get from place to place. But people are taking time out of their lives. They're dedicating a lot of resources and work and effort and time to go and do this. People are flying in from all over the world to come and be part of the tour bus. Big names, small names, it doesn't really matter. But we're getting it out there, and people need to support this. If people don't support it, the tour will fail. It won't be able to carry on. So they need support. They need financial help. There's a GoFundMe out there where you can actually be a part of this. Let's say, stick two fingers up to the trolls, all those people that have been putting negative comments out and negative videos that have been saying that they're doing this and they're doing that, when nothing of the sort. This is normal, everyday human beings taking time out of their life to go and promote Flat Earth all around Europe, and you need to be a part of this. You need to help them, financially support them, right? So I'm making a massive plea here now for people in the chat to go across, find the link to the GoFundMe. If I give it to Nathan, I'm sure he'll be spamming it in the chat right now. I'm sure he'll do that, or put it in the show link, notes after the video's uploaded. But people should go across, support $5, $10. It doesn't really matter. Everything that goes in will help that tour bus to be able to get from A to B, and eventually get back all the way to London after traveling through dozens of countries over the next couple of months. So please support them. Don't listen to the trolls. Don't listen to the negative videos. Everything's going ahead just as planned, and they need your support. This is a once in a lifetime event. Once in a lifetime event where people, it's going to get so much publicity. If you're a flat earther and you really have a little couple of pounds spare, please support them. Please. Ranty Flat Earth saying, please support them. Nathan, do you want to say anything?
A good little appeal. Next time I need to raise funds for anything, I'll be sure to knock on your door. Good little appeal.
Sorry.
I tuned in this morning to Jason. I watched him. Dave Murphy's currently on the tour, so not that Dave Murphy's a particular reason to donate, although he is ace. Let's be honest. Yeah, good little appeal. I'll stick a link to the GoFundMe in the show notes. No problem. Hey, Flatsoys.
Thank you. We need the tour needs to carry on. Let's just stick two fingers up to the trolls. All these negative, you'll see it, negative videos, all about Tony, about me, about other people, all this negativity going around. And when it's all been brought back to the actual facts of things, there's nothing of the sort. People are just doing their everyday things, but this narrative that gets punted around puts people off supporting things like this, right? And this is what's going on. This is what they do. you know, and the Tor's suffering because of that, right? But people should be getting behind this. There are thousands of flat earthers that watch what you do, Nathan, right? And there are people, if you just put £1 in each, you know, this can support the Tor for the next couple of weeks. You know, this is what's needed.
Right on.
Right, that's
Anyway,
my pitch
hello.
over. Hello.
Yeah, I agree with you, Renty.
Yeah, I do. I mean, as soon as anything goes wrong, that's the first thing the trolls do, is they make a hit piece video about it, right? And then people start talking about it in the chats. People start seeing this. They start to form a narrative. Then they start to just, you know, they don't follow the Tor anymore because they've heard something that the Tor's failing or the scamming or something's not going right. So they don't want to actually just support or even watch them. You know, just watch them and watch the, you know, if the, like the Jason the Didsbury family or Roxanne, if they have any kind of video, you know, what's it called, adverts playing on the videos, watch the advert. As daft as that sounds, you don't even have to donate financially to them to the GoFundMe if you can't afford to do that. But watch the advert. You know, the adverts are only what 10 seconds long before the video starts, so just watch all of it. You know, because then that'll mean that the people that are doing this will actually get a small kickback from YouTube for somebody watching that advert. You know, so if it takes you 10 seconds to watch an advert, but you get to see 2 hours of content, you know, that's something that you can all do. Everyone can do that. You know, people should, you know, Nathan as well, you know, people should watch your videos and watch the adverts too. You do it. I know you do it. You support people by watching the adverts, don't you?
Yeah, I do watch the ads. I watched ads today.
Well, it's not a lot, you know. What's 10 seconds out of your life if you're going to watch a 2-hour live stream?
Yeah, it's easy to not skip a 15-second as it is to skip it after 3 seconds. You know, might as well let it play through to give the video at least some monetary incentive to keep making them. If you're watching it, presumably you're enjoying that YouTuber, or if you've never seen them before, you've been so inclined to click on their thumbnail. It doesn't hurt. I know lots of people have got a lot against advertising, but it's like, that's how I make my living on YouTube. So obviously I'm going to do as I suggest others do, and I do watch other people's adverts.
And whilst we're at this, you know, people need to subscribe too. You know, people need to subscribe to channels that they watch, and also click the bell notification. If you don't do that, you're not going to get all the notifications through when somebody goes live or something like that. You're going to miss out. And the algorithm changes it where sometimes you'll be subscribed, sometimes you won't. They'll unsubscribe you. They'll unclick the bell notification. I found a way of addressing that, which is to literally just unclick your bell. You know, right now, even if it shows that it's actually clicked, just unclick it and then re-click it again, because it kind of like resets it or something, and then you'll start getting the notifications through. It's little things like that it doesn't take a lot to actually just try and support people that are doing this stuff.
Yeah, periodically I get people giving me messages that they've been unsubscribed. So obviously this particular broadcast is going out on my second channel. There's a reasonable chance that you've actually been unsubscribed from my main channel. So it's worth checking. Like I say, several people have noted it. It's always been that way, so it's not something I often highlight.
Well, you know, we're under censorship, and that's the thing, you know, and we're also under attack by these trolls. False narratives, false accusations, things like that. They damage people that are just trying to do their own thing. You know, there's a lot of bad things that people say about you, Nathan, but at the end of the day, you've done a live show now for 2 years solid, you know, every single day. You know, you've taken it slightly easy recently, but, you know, you had to graft every single day to actually get somewhere, you know, with your channel, you know, to actually be able to get a living. And people don't, you know, people tend to not see that, you know, but it takes a lot of effort. And even Arwin, he's done it for a full year. It surprises me every single day. I think he's just had a couple of days here and there where he's not actually done it for reasons that he actually told people. Even though me and Arwin don't see eye to eye, and, you know, I'm not really a fan of him at the moment, but I'm going to support him here because, yeah, he's done a show every single day, right? Regardless of, and even though people say this, that, and the other about him, he's still providing content every single day for a full hour of the day, every single day. Same with you, Nathan. Same with everybody that does this stuff. And people should be watching, or even watching the re-uploads. Watch the adverts. Support people that are putting this time and effort in. Because whether you like it or not, it's still entertainment. And if you're a troll too, you still tune in. We know you still tune in. We know you still listen. So you do it. You're getting your entertainment value. That's for sure.
Yeah, well said. Nice having someone else say it for a change. I say these sorts of things often. Support your fellow YouTubers. Hey, QE. Bit early for you.
Yeah, don't support QE though. He's shit.
John is up early today.
Are you in a good mood today, QE? Right, it's one of those mornings, is it?
You can plug your show when we go live, as you're here. No plugging it now for the recorded audience, because this goes out after your show. But the live audience, certainly, you might as well plug your show. Excellent.
Going to be a good show tonight.
Conversation we got going. It's full lineup of shows this evening. Then it's QE at 8, me at 9, you at 11. Full evening.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be normal service will be resumed. Hopefully next week. Fingers crossed. I've actually enjoyed though. The thing is though, I've actually really enjoyed a couple of weeks of not actually doing this live stream.
Not even been a couple of weeks. It's been about 5 days.
Well, no, because I went away, didn't I? I went to where did I go now? On the East Coast. So I went over to the East Coast. So I had a vacation over there. I was away for 4 nights. So I wasn't live streaming then. When we came back, they had the internet had been swapped over that very day. So I think I got one show in on the Sunday. I think I got one show. So I've had like one show in 2 weeks. And to be fair, it's really refreshed me, giving me a whole... I was getting a bit tired. It is tiring doing these shows late at night. So to have 2 weeks of just being able to go to bed at a regular time and not having to do a show, it's stressful, trying to think when you're going to get somebody on to do a presentation, or are you actually going to get anybody coming in to chat with you if you haven't got a presentation to show, so it's very stressful in that respect. And then obviously you've got the late nights as well. But the 2 weeks off, yeah, it's done me the world of good. I feel so refreshed now, ready to go. But, I just can't because of the internet. But yeah, I would recommend taking time off, Nathan. I know what that happened to you when you had your weekend off for that very first weekend that you took off. And you were like, holy crikey, this is ace.
Yeah.
I've had a whole weekend off and it's great.
Yeah.
And now it's turned into a regular thing.
Well, it maybe.
Isn't it? Doesn't it feel refreshing though?
No, as soon as I engineered a weekend, it was stolen away from me by Quantum Eraser, who wanted Ballbusters to be a thing. Not that I'm complaining, it was extremely profitable. But, then we did a fundraiser to get him a computer, and I ran the last show. Not that I'm moaning, I am moaning a lot. We'll just do a growl in a minute, you watch.
Well, it's things that people don't, I mean, like with QE, he needed his PC, it's a thing that you need to do, it's like you with your equipment, you need things like that. And people are gladly supporting those endeavors for you to actually produce stuff for them. Once you get a better PC, you can stream better. When you get better equipment, you can do things differently. So, it's what happens, isn't it, Nath?
No, it's good. It's good from Quantum Eraser's point of view that there's people around him that can support him so that he's hitting the ground running rather than struggling his way through YouTube and producing worse content, therefore building an audience slower. That's just bad. And if you've got people around you that can help you do that, why not? It's not that much effort, let's be honest, even though I'm moaning.
Oh, yeah, it took me over a year to get 1,000 subscribers. Literally over a year. I mean, I think QE got his within a week, maybe even a few days, I think.
But you took me 8 years. It took me to get to 1,000 subscribers.
And the thing is, people don't appreciate that. Well, they do. I know QE does appreciate it, but I mean, to actually claw your way to 1,000 subscribers. I mean, I know how difficult it was for Arwin as well, but everybody really struggles to get that first 1,000 subscribers. So for QE to come in and get promoted as much as he did, to get those 1,000 subscribers as quickly as he did, you know, it was a big community effort, and it's definitely paid off. And that's why having a decent PC is going to give those 1,000 subscribers the content that they subscribed for. You know, people subscribe to listen to and watch him do what he does.
Exactly.
Simple as that.
That's the main thing, though, isn't it? People, it's all well and good getting lots of promotion and getting people to shout at your channel. If you're not a good content producer, people will subscribe, but then quickly unsubscribe when they realise that you're not actually producing anything of any note. So it is ultimately always down to the content, down to having a decent upload schedule and good content. But yeah, you've obviously got to have people to watch them, and that does take time, which is frustrating when you're putting your heart and soul into your content and it gets about 10 views.
I know, but the funny thing is, there's a lot of small channels out there that are struggling, really struggling. I'm thinking of doing another video about a few of those channels and giving them a bit of a leg up, because, you know, I mean, you see the content, they are doing decent content, but nobody really pays much attention to it. You have people with 5 watching and 6 watching and stuff like that, and it makes you appreciate when you get 100 people watching your show or 200 people watching your show, just how much, well, just what a good position you're in, and if you can use that position to help other people get a leg up, why not?
Oh yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I'm very grateful for the audience this show gets.
Yeah, it's a good one. I think when I start back, I think I'm gonna get 10 people watching or something like that.
You've got an established audience and a good time slot. I think, you know, 11 o'clock is the better time slot, but by the same token, I'm not live, so it seems unreasonable for me to demand that time slot as much as I'd want it. You know, good. You should be live in that time slot. It's a good time slot.
Yeah, 11 p.m. is just slightly too late, though, really, because if you're doing a 2-hour show, you don't get to bed. You don't even wind down till 2 a.m. You know, if you do a 2-hour show, your brain's still frazzled. You know, and then if you're getting up at 6 o'clock to go back to work the next day, you're living on 4 hours sleep. It's kind of like burnout.
Well, should we? I don't know if QE will be amenable to this, but we could all go back 1 hour. So instead of 8 o'clock for QE, it'd be 7 o'clock, and then instead of 9 o'clock for me, it'd be 8 o'clock, and then you'd start at 10.
I don't mind doing. Well, it just depends how regularly you want it. You know, I mean, I don't mind doing alternate nights, like 10 p.m.
That would be the best thing. I was going to say, because at the moment you've got Tuesday and Thursday covered by Quantum Eraser, and if you slipped in between those days, it means you know, because I've got a pre-recorded show at that point, I can slip around. I can work my schedule around both of you who potentially might be doing a live show.
Yeah, I don't mind doing like 10 p.m. Monday, and then Tuesday, you know, if QE's going live, then I can push mine back till 11, then Wednesday back till 10, and then Thursday back till 11. You know, I could do it that way.
We've got a scheduling Skype group, right? We can just work it out on there. We'll work out what's the most beneficial to all of us, because obviously we don't want to. We're now in a position where we're more likely to be utilising the same audience. That's the bottom line. It wasn't the case a year ago. Now it's the case that if we overlap, we just steal each other's viewers. It just seems silly. Where you could spread it out with a little bit of negotiation amongst ourselves about which show goes where, and then you're not, and you're keeping people entertained for a longer period of time. People are jumping between the shows, and you're not just, you know, having people miss your show to watch somebody who's on your side show. It just makes no sense.
Yeah, well, I agree, and we need to just keep doing these shows, because we need to keep Flat Earth in the consciousness of people. You know, because if we ever slip up, could you imagine if me and you and QE and Arwin all stopped doing this? You know, could you imagine? Like, where would people go to? Where would people
know what
watch
happened?
stuff?
2 weeks after that happened, nobody would care. They'd assume we were dead after 2 weeks. That's what happens in YouTube. Oh, he hasn't made a video for 2 weeks. Must be dead.
That's funny you should say that.
People are very fickle.
Yeah, I've had people messaging me, "Where are you? Well, you know, why aren't you doing shows?" You know, I'm like, well, you know, I've already told people why I'm not streaming at the minute. You know, I'm going through the copper wire system. You know, and which basically gives me a dial-up speed. My upload speed, listen to this, Nathan, 0.22. 0. I need 7 basically to get a good stream. 6 I can get by on, but 0.22 upload speed, yeah, that's not working. Terrible. Download speed 6. I think the average is like 70 now, with fiber. So
the rest of the networks will catch up. They'll have to in the UK, because as soon as fiber optic came along, it became 20 times better. In your case, 200 times better.
But the thing was, when I was with EE, right, because you was with EE, and I didn't really think about it. I was able to stream perfectly well. There was no problems with that. And then when Sky phoned up and said, "Oh, sorry to have lost you as a customer 6 months ago. Do you want to come back?" And we're like, "Well, what deal can you offer us?" And they were like, "Well, the package that you had originally, it was like 100 quid. We'll give it you for 40. We're like, "Yeah, okay." Yeah, we'll go for that. And they said, "And we'll buy you out of your contract with EE." It's like, yeah, happy days. Yeah. So they paid us out of the contract with EE, stuck us on Sky, right? And then gave me the shittiest internet you could ever think of. Right?
Heartbreaking.
Yeah. I didn't even consider it for a minute that I wasn't going to get the same level from Sky as I would have get from EE. I just thought it was normal until I started streaming, and then and downloading a video from the Skybox. Started downloading it. It took 1 hour and 45 minutes to download an 1.5 hour video.
Still watching TV?
Yeah.
And it's been years since I've watched TV.
Walking Dead started again last night.
No idea what that is, nor do I care.
It's dead men walking, zombies.
Sounds great.
Zombie apocalypse.
Sounds like The Viewers.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, I do like TV, but I don't know when I'm going to find time to watch it now, though.
TV is the devil.
The devil.
Programming.
I mean, I was talking to Sleeping Warrior about the education system before, and he said, well, because we were talking about whether it's political or not, and I said, well, of course it's political. Why do you think Ofsted are there? Ofsted are like the Gestapo of the UK government. If the schools don't follow the rules and regulations and they don't get good grades, Ofsted give them a terrible rating. Then basically the headmaster loses his job. The school doesn't get any pupils the following year. It's as simple as that. So it is. It's like, you will do as we are commanding you to do. In other words, you'll get the GCSEs, the curriculum that we put in place, or you're going to get exposed online and nobody's going to come to the school. So it is, you will do as we say. Of course, it's political.
Everything is political, guys. Good morning.
Yeah, I saw Anthony's debate with somebody who's apparently part of the legal profession. Like, we haven't got a definition of political, and then Anthony goes and brings up a definition of political. And it ended up on the result, well, we need a judge to decide what it means in law. And it's like, isn't that the point of this? Isn't that what he was trying to achieve? You know what I mean? Put forth an argument. Very funny.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, how dare you, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to join the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate Forum, which you should definitely all join. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion right here, right now, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth debate. Now we are joined by Ranty Flat Earth, Paul, 10th Man, Righteous Force, Flatzoid, Chocolate Sane, Quantum Eraser, and I think that's pretty much it. Did I miss anybody? Don't think I missed anybody. We're also joined by a whole bunch of people on Discord, so welcome one and all in the Discord server.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, good to have you all.
Good morning.
Ranty, you alright, man?
That's something.
What's going on over there?
No more grunting, please. Any signs of Earth curvature?
Not from Louisiana.
Out on Earth.
Not on Earth, no, unfortunately.
What is Earth
I have
curvature?
ever witnessed
How can
anything
you
like
even
that
see-
curvature? What?
How can you actually see Earth curvature? I mean, if you believe in the globe model, you can see a quote unquote effects of an Earth curvature, i.e., quote unquote, a boat going over the horizon that never happens. But you can think of it as that, right? So if you quote unquote see a boat, are you actually seeing Earth curvature?
No.
Or are you actually seeing the effect of what's perceived to be Earth curvature?
You're seeing the hijacking of perspective claimed to be Earth curve obstruction. That's correct. You're not actually seeing Earth curvature. They're claiming that the Earth is obstructing something, and they call that curvature, even though there's nothing actually curving. It's actually an effect of perspective.
Does a dome count as Earth curvature?
Say again, Unicorn?
I said, does a dome count as Earth curvature?
If there was one and it was curved.
Yeah,
Okay.
Nathan, I got a pretty nice video from Jose Meza showing a boat disappearing from the bottom. It's pretty cool. I want to get you to play it on the show.
Yeah, do it now. We're talking about Earth curve. If someone can present Chocolate's video, is that possible from someone in the G Plus panel?
Yeah, I'll put it in Skype right now. Give me 1 sec. Continue with housekeeping. I'll find the link and post
Yeah,
it.
sure. We'll come back to it. Any signs of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety? As Ranty's here.
No.
Axial. Well, I've seen it in a book.
Is that it? Is that all we're getting? I've seen it in a book. I don't quite understand how you can see a mechanical motion in a book.
Well, I've seen diagrams in a book, and I've seen animations of it on YouTube and television.
That's nice.
It's a just so story.
That's nice. I posted it in Skype, Nathan. It's in Masterby.
Oh, cool. Can anybody in the Hangout bring up Chocolate's video? Go ahead. Was that Elijah? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna go ahead and say yeah, but then at the same time, I can only describe to you exactly how we don't see anything. But I can tell you yeah.
So you can tell me yes, and then describe how we don't see deviation and things of that nature. Is that what you mean?
Right. I'll give you an hour-long presentation on how it's impossible to detect.
Fair enough.
Paul's got the video up now.
Oh, cool. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
You can play it because it's Jose's, and I don't think he's gonna have a problem playing it. So
Can you make it big, please, Paul?
it's only 1 minute long. So
Okay. Talk us through it, Chocolate. It's on screen now.
well, he's got a little bit of sound in there. He's telling how he's got the camera on the ground and he's lowering it by about 1.5 inches. I think it's 3 inches up, and he says he's lowering it by an inch. If you could hear the sound, he's got a little narration while he talks about it. But yeah,
I think we've heard enough. So he's he's reducing the viewing angle, therefore inducing the diffraction limit at a sooner point by reducing or limiting the angle of view. So the most limited angle being at the bottom, but he's doing this over a very short distance. I see. Yeah, he zoomed out at the end to see it's just on a very small scale. Very cool. Shout out to Jose Menza. How'd you say his surname?
Jose.
How'd you say his surname,
Meza.
though? Is it
I think it's Meza.
Meza. Shout out to Jose. Really appreciate your, what we used to call his angle of attack videos back in the day.
Yeah, right.
Very cool.
I have something to present as well, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
We just asked about Earth rotation, so I just Googled Earth rotation. So this is front page of Google recommendations. We'll just go to this video here. We'll just move it forward a tad just so we can see Earth rotation. Look at that.
Not Earth.
This is what they're telling us it is.
I don't care what they're telling us. That
It's
is not
actual
Earth.
rotation. Look at this. Look at this.
So I can prove time dilation with a picture of Narnia for you, right?
I said it was an animation, though, Nathan.
I see. Very
I said
good.
I've seen animations of it on YouTube, and if you actually research this is on. This
Let's
is on the front
Cheeky
page.
sod.
not all miss the fact that there's a
Cheek of it. If you research this.
If you research it, they'll show you. They'll show it you as an animation. They won't show it you in real life, but they'll show an animation of it. You know, everyone can see that that's reality, right? Yeah.
I can
Yeah,
just
you
hear.
can't show reality other than cartoons, yeah.
Yeah, that's reality, all right.
I can just hear Math Powerland ringing in my ears. Full rotation! One rotation! Full ball! Shout out to Math Powerland. Let's move on to the questions that leave a bit less wiggle room. So, any scientific evidence of gravity?
Of what?
Oh, I know someone that believes in gravity.
What was the
Surprised
hypothesis
to
for
find out
gravity?
the other day that Mr. Mark Sargent believes in gravity. Did you know this, Nathan?
Didn't know that. Are you sure that's true?
Well, okay. Let's go here. Let's see here. I've written this down because this was well, not surprising. I was surprised, but when I say surprised, that would be me bullshitting. This is a direct quote from a channel. BM Furball is a global channel. June 29th of this year, and I quote, "Oh, I believe gravity exists." This is Mr. Mark Sargent speaking. He then goes on to say, and I quote again, "As in, is there a magical molecular force that pulls things straight down? Yeah, sure, I'll go with Neil Tyson on that one." End quote. So yeah, guys, is this worth one of those bullets that Adam was talking about the last time?
Can you repeat the quote,
Is it worth one of those
please?
bullets?
Unicorn.
Sorry?
Can you repeat the quote, please?
So the quote is, "I believe that gravity exists." He then goes on to say, "As in, is there a magical molecular force that pulls things straight down? Yeah, sure. I'll go with Neil Tyson on that one." And then the BM Furball guy was like, "This is extremely, what's the word I'm looking for? Strange." That's a misquote, sorry. But he was shocked. He was like, "This is am I hearing this correctly? Coming from a flat earther?" So this is something that, guys, man, this has to be nipped in the bud right now, because if we're going to, like I said last time, continue to perpetuate pseudoscience within our community, it's just going to bring more and more doubt, and it's going to turn more and more people away. This is straight up pseudoscience. These are direct quotes. This is him on video. I've downloaded the video. It's there for everyone to see. Like I said, the channel is BM Furball. It's one of his recent videos. Check it out, because it's actually absolutely shocking stuff, and it needs to be addressed.
Shocking. When was this video from? Lastly,
29th of June,
this year.
2019.
Oh wow. Okay, I didn't know
Well,
that.
he did say it's a belief. I mean, I believe in possibly something being there too.
Sorry, mate, but fuck your beliefs. Science doesn't leave room for that
swearing. Right. So gravity. If his quote included the words "I agree with Neil deGrasse Tyson" on that. Well, Neil deGrasse Tyson doesn't even know what gravity is. So when push comes to shove in interview, he doesn't know what it is. They don't know what the cause is. There's no scientific validity. It is, by definition, the bending of a conceptual medium known as space-time. So if Mark's just ill-informed and thinks gravity is something that he needs to believe in, he doesn't. There's no scientific validity for it whatsoever. Now, the magic trick that is gravity seems to run parallel with the magic trick that is the heliocentric model. Again, if Mark's unaware of that, he needs to be made aware of it. But gravity is not something that's had any validity ever given to it. It's been changed in the last 100 years to the bending of a concept. You can't bend concepts. So if he believes...
But he also...
Go ahead.
He also goes on to say that, sorry to interrupt you, but there's buoyancy, and he says he believes we can have both. Buoyancy. He says that we're breathing in a thin version of water. Okay. Guys, come on. Anyway, yeah. I don't want this to take over the debate again. I just thought this was very important.
The stuff that he's gonna do is gonna make us have to unwind this stuff for the next.
Exactly right.
Well,
this is just it's putting us into a further hole.
Well, hold on a sec. There was a contradiction already by quoting Neil. Because if Neil believes in space-time, then it's not a force. So you got his quote wrong.
You catch that?
That's what he said. He believes in a force, right?
If you're saying there's a magical force that pulls things down, and he'll agree with Neil deGrasse Tyson on that one, well, Neil deGrasse Tyson won't assert that. That's Newtonian. Bending of conceptual mediums, giving rise to non-force forces that you can think of as forces. That's what Neil deGrasse Tyson would assert. He's on the current rhetoric, i.e. Einsteinian rhetoric. He makes it overtly plain. So it sounds like... just before you carry on, with all due respect to Mark, it sounds like he's confused. May need educating. Not everybody knows everything about this subject.
This is too much. All right, cool, no worries. Anyway, moving on.
No. I agree. Do you not agree? Do you not agree?
Not at all.
What do you think?
Well, I agree because he's just as deceived as anyone is deceived at any given level of this lie. So I don't think that he's purposely pushing this, because you can tell when they don't really understand. This is why we need to tell people what reification is and all of that.
But I would agree with you, as I did last time. I mean, presumably, Flatulent Unicorn, you know where you're going to have us over a barrel in this regard. Where there's flat earthers that are spouting nonsense. In this regard, Mark Sargent talking about gravity and not force that you can think of as a force that's been brought forth by the bending of a conceptual medium known as space-time. If he's under any illusion that that needs belief, then he's wrong. I'm happy to say it. I wouldn't start a war with Mark over it. I'd just say, you do realise gravity's a load of old nonsense. It's the bending of a concept. You can't bend concepts. Show me bending freedom, Mark. I'm sure it'd be fairly amiable to that idea.
Yeah, but Mark's just the tip of the spear, isn't he?
No, yeah. Sorry?
Mark's just the tip of the spear. You know, he brings people into this. He gets out there. He gets people interested in flat Earth, regardless. And then people find, you know, like you've just exposed there, that you know, their own truths. You know.
Right. It's much harder to overcome.
Yeah, no, but that tip's got bullshit on it. That's what I'm getting at, and it doesn't need to. That's what I'm. Well, you know, you guys have the influence to be able to get to Mark and to tell him to, you know, if you believe in our arguments, not believe, it's not a belief, like I said, science. Sorry.
Okay.
The gas pressure argument, that's science, and like I said, science is truth and leaves no room for belief. We know that already. Thanks to you guys, namely Nathan and QE, you know, I've come to that realization. So credit where credit is due.
But
That's
you've got to
what I'm getting at.
You
guys need.
Yeah, you've got to understand that Mark has to
on.
dance with the
Devil.
journalists that he's engaged with. So by sucking up in some way to Neil deGrasse Tyson, that gives them, that allows him to carry on doing what he's doing. You do understand that he's, he can't just come out and be like Nathan. If he came out and was like Nathan on these shows, he'd never get on BBC TV or ITV or anywhere or in the papers or anything.
Thanks.
No one would want to deal with him.
What did I say about what did I say about TV in the pre-show? What did I call TV?
The devil.
You dance with the devil, you don't get to choose the tune. Mark's dancing with the devil, and the tune isn't his. That's unfortunate,
as I said
but it's a difficult task. So, while you might call this being diplomatic again, I appreciate the dance that he's got to dance to.
And he'd be right.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Like, just like I said the other day, like I see where it's needed. It's really, really an unfortunate dance. Like, that's all I can say about it. Because I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Like, I don't see the need for it. But it's just, at the end of the day, I also know this is gonna do more harm than it's going to do good. You can't get one absolute thought out of this type of thing.
Yeah, but there's another thing to think about.
This is probably just me and my cynical mind. I'm sick of being lied to. And
let's find out.
Like I said, I came to this show and
let's find out. Flatulent. Let's do a quick straw poll. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 people maybe in the panel, and then another half dozen to a dozen in the Discord server. So, by a yay or nay, I'll just phrase the question. So, who feels that it's worthy of picketing and challenge and videos being made challenging Mark's current position? By a yay, or if you feel no, Mark's doing perfectly well as he should and we should leave him well alone because he's having to do it with people who he has to toe a fine line with, then say nay. So if you agree with Flatulent Unicornists and say yay, we'll go down the line. So hopefully you're all off mute. Can you hear us, Arwin? Yay or nay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
clear your names, guys. Clear your names,
if I may. Right, because I think that there should definitely be an address of the mistakes that he's making, but that doesn't mean that we need to get out of our way to kind of force him to change that in his routine.
Okay,
it
cool.
Just needs
Yeah, keep it brief.
addressing.
Thank you. Keep it brief
That
if you
is
can.
all.
Chocolate, go ahead.
My thing is, when Mark Sargent is talking, he's not talking to me. He's not talking to us. You know what I mean? So again, I understand completely where Unicorn's coming from, right? But people aren't going to him to find out the intricacies of gravity. There are a lot of flat earthers even who believe that there's some reason why we're still on the ground. So it's it's one of those things. But again, his target audience is not people like us who have gone through the intricacies of gravity like that.
I'll take that as a no. So,
but we can also agree.
Hold on. I just want to get the opinions. Try and keep it brief. So, Flatzoid, if you can hear us. If not, we'll move on to QE.
Yeah, I'm also nay. Leave him be. I mean, he's actually just there as a tool to get the people to start off. And that's where I would leave him.
Fair enough. QE.
Mark seems like a pretty nice guy to me. Genuine. Maybe behind closed doors, a light hand. Thanks.
Paul? Ranty?
Nay, absolutely. Leave him alone. I mean, I have a huge issue with one of his quote-unquote claims that he actually puts out, which is you can always zoom in on a boat and you'll always be able to bring it back. That will never happen, ever in any shape or form. It's not just going to happen. But what that does is it allows people, the new people that are seeing this for the first time, to actually think about the shape and distances that you should be able to see. So they'll start looking into it, and then they'll realize that you can see further than you should on a globe. So whether or not his position is strictly correct, I don't agree with that particular position, but I do believe it's definitely entry level. He should be left alone. He's doing a great job handling the media, getting it out there and promoting flat earth inside of a very, very difficult situation.
Okay, Righteous Force?
I like Mark, so I guess I'll just leave it at that.
Nay. Right. Anybody in Discord? Elijah, you've come off mute. Go ahead.
SX0, nay.
Nay. Okay.
Leave alone.
Well,
Red, leave him alone. Mostly nays.
what I'd like to say to that is that it's funny that it's just that when we speak about truth, we have to handle the truth with kid gloves. Like, oh, we can't just give you the truth and we have to go around. We got to give you some ice cream with it. So the people that are listening to Mark Sargent are people that are trying to learn. None of us, you're right, none of us are listening to him. Only people that are listening to him are people that want to learn. And so they go to him and they learn, and then they go back into the world, and the world crushes those arguments, and then they're stuck. That's a waste of time for me. So yeah.
Okay, well, as it's been a yay, I like Mark too, but I would be on the yay side of this argument, which is to say that proactively, I might drop him a quick message after this, which is, and in more proactive terms, I'm expressing my yay vote by doing what I'm doing now, by having this discussion, by having the straw poll. So that's my way of addressing it. There we go. That's my yay vote, as much as it might not please many people, as there's been mostly nays in the chat, going, no, leave him alone. Okay, well, we're not though, are we? Let's be honest.
Leave Mark Sargent alone.
Yeah, but we're not. We're discussing him overtly. He's not even here. But we are discussing him, and we're taking straw polls. So, yeah. Anyway, anybody else? Go ahead, Unicorn.
Thanks for that, Nate. Thanks for that, Nathan. You addressed it, and that's all I was really after. This guy does believe in pseudoscience. It's proven. It's now on record, and that's all I wanted people to know. That this he may be bringing positive attention to our cause here, but at the same time, he's spouting nonsense, just like you said. So that's all I wanted, just an address, and yeah, thanks for that.
That's what this is all about, right? It's about debating the subject, and Mark, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on your point of view, he is the subject to many people. And if he's wrong, it needs addressing. So that's what we're here to debate about.
Can I pipe in?
Go ahead.
No, you're too triggered.
I didn't see your icon, Tenther, or I would have asked you. Sorry, my bad. I just didn't see your icon. That's why I went to Arwin first. Go ahead. And Paul, if you want to... Sorry,
he's
Tenth,
too
just 1
triggered,
sec.
Nathan.
Just 1 second. It's me triggered talking over you. If you want to pipe in as well, Paul, you feel free, and anybody else for that matter on Discord. I'll just, obviously don't try and interrupt 10th Man intentionally. Go ahead, 10th Man.
All right. I've probably seen less than 5 videos of Mark Sargent, and I don't follow him. I think, like everything else, you address someone personally and say, what did you mean by this statement before you cast judgment? I would do that. Number 2, by the quotation, it almost sounds like, if I could guess, it was a little sarcastic, meaning, oh, this magical force that Tyson believes in? Sure. Okay. It's like, wait a minute, it's magic? I thought it was science. So I don't know what he meant by it.
Fine. Saying we need more context, that's perfectly reasonable as well. Unreasonable to jump to conclusions. Yeah, that's pretty much fair enough. And the last show where we discussed Mark at length, and Dirth and Bob No Doubt, I sent them all the link and told them, I was quite open about it. I was like, look, you've all been discussed at great length with criticism by the entire panel for about an hour and a half. So here's the link. Watch it if you will, or don't, whatever. But things that are useful, if there's things that we
Did any of them respond?
Yeah, Mark did, yeah.
Well, I don't think you should be criticizing somebody that's put the amount of time and effort and all the ridicule that Mark's gone through. Let's face it, he's not universally liked in flat Earth, and all the Globers hate him. And regardless of what you do, you have to have a huge, thick skin to carry on doing what he's doing. And he's at least getting it out there. He's actually probably brought more people into flat Earth than all of us combined. Whether or not we've actually helped address any of the issues that we have in his particular sayings and what he believes in is a different matter. But the simple fact is that he has brought the people in, regardless of what you think. And for me, he gets a massive pat on the back for all the effort that he put in.
Right, he's very supportive as well. He's gone to all these conferences off his own back.
I don't want this to come off as disrespect.
Not at all. I don't think he'd take it that way either. I think he'd probably be moderately chuffed that he's being discussed in the way that he is. Obviously, I've said it before, this is a pretty serious show in the regards to the subjects that we discuss and how we discuss them. The fact that Mark's on our radar, I think, is a good thing. You know, he recently came on my radar because he was fighting one of the arguments that we fight here. Now, it might be because he's listened, it might be because that's just him coming to the same conclusion. Well, it doesn't matter either way. He's fighting the battle the way I would like it to be fought, which I can only commend him for. But by the same token, once he's on the radar, there's going to be other people that say, well, hold on, what other stuff does he say? Well, this is wrong, and that's wrong, and this is wrong. And you go, well, yeah, you know, this is a debate show. This is the whole point. If we feel that somebody, regardless of their side, is punting nonsense, then obviously it's going to get addressed.
I think that once he gets on the side of science, it's going to help his argument even. You know, it's going to further his point even further because it's going to, you know, it'll leave no holes in his argument, and it will allow me to, for example, when I want to defend flat Earth, for example, when I do have arguments with my family and I want to use science because, you know, that's the arbiter of truth and falsities. I can just go with science, and when they point people like Mark out, you know, this is one of your, you know, the guys that's at the forefront of your movement, and he's spouting nonsense. So you know, that's where it sort of it would benefit him and Flat Earth if he sort of started, you know, like you guys said, he has his beliefs and he's his own man, and I'm not here to change it. The way anyone, you know, your God-given right is your free will. And I'm not here to, you know, to tell anyone how to go about their daily lives or what they should be doing. But if it's to further flat Earth and science, I think a guy with such pull like Mark could just sort of change his argument a bit and just stick to science. Just forget the pseudoscience, and then, you know, he's going to gain more respect, and it's just going to help everyone, in my opinion.
But you're right. Okay, so he'd get more respect from the community, but he would never get a gig again in any journalism or anything like that. He'd never be on television. He'd never get on in the TV, in the papers, or anything like that. He would never get anything like that if he turned around and started being a bit like we are on this show. He's got to do it at entry level. He's got to be there to be kind of ridiculed in some ways. You know, they don't bring him on to have a serious conversation with him when he goes on these shows because Mark knows he's going to get ridiculed. He knows this, but he's still prepared to put himself out there. So he's got to play along with him. It's a dance and it's a game. It's literally a game, and Mark is playing it very well because he still gets to be brought onto these shows. You know, he can't go in all guns blazing. That's what we do. But he brings the people in. He still gets the message out.
We live in it. I mean, I think there's a tension here.
And then once that message gets out to the people that it's going to interest, if those people are now they have that interest peaked and they want to find out more scientific aspects of it, that's where they'll find us. You know what I mean? That's where they'll do the research themselves.
You guys are kind of divining all this because you guys can't really see into the future.
Well, the reason this is going to take a hard left is because I happen to be into politics. Look at the state of politics, because the only reason that you would be on TV where people can see you is because the system is already, it's already, you've been through the grader, and it knows that you're going to say something that's not really going to push off of the narrative that they want people to believe. So in the sense of Mark Sargent, it's like, yeah, okay, for us, it's not that harmful, but think about a fresh mind. We're not talking about us. We're talking about fresh men that go to him for fresh minds that go to him for information. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't work the same on people that are totally illiterate to this.
Those fresh minds are not going to go to him to find out, let's say, about the Cavendish experiment, right? They're not going to go to him, well, which is not an experiment, but they're not going to go to him for to find out the intricacies of the second law of thermodynamics. You know what I mean? The people that are listening to him, they're still reeling from what the hell is this flat Earth thing that they're talking about. That's his audience. You know what I mean? The people that are here, they're already way past that point. They either hate it or they love it, or they're trying to learn more about it.
Do you know who brought me into flat Earth? Eddie Bravo. Eddie Bravo. When InfoWars released a video titled Eddie Bravo proves the flat earth, right? Now, Eddie Bravo can't argue flat earth for anything, right? But he got me interested. And what he said, just a few different things got me interested in the subject. I went and researched it and look where I am now, right? So I started off from literally being so skeptical and not watching any videos about flat earth to watching one particular video with Eddie Bravo in the first ever flat earth video that I ever watched. And he's far worse in every regard than Mark Sargent, or just as bad, whichever way you choose to call it. But essentially, those arguments don't hold sway now. But it got me interested, and look where we are now. Everyone starts somewhere, and I was entry level back then, and that's what interested me. What he said interested me.
I think
you got me by the knickers, because that's exactly how I got into flat Earth. So
sure, I'm not just decrying what Ranty's just said, and you're agreeing with him, Elijah, and I appreciate that. But we're kind of missing Unicorn's point, because he's saying the scenario he gave was someone comes, gets the information, and he described it. I hate to paraphrase it, but like a tip of the spear covered in shit, as he describes it. And he says that they'll come to the information, they'll go out to the greater wide world, having been past the incorrect information, and have their arguments taken to pieces by normies, and then quickly, presumably, revert back to normalness in terms of globe belief. I think that's his point. So regardless of us saying, well, no, that's not the journey we took, he's not describing us, Unicorn, that is. He's describing the people who...
Yes.
Can I ask Chocolate a question?
So here's how we bypass that, right? We're being censored by YouTube, right? Back in the day, 2-3 years ago, you could find YouTube videos, you could find channels that were creating content. Now you can't, right? So if that's your concern, what you should be doing is promoting the channels that you do support, that you do think you get good content from. That's the only way you're going to bypass that. So it's all right slagging Mark off, but at the end of the day, if you're not promoting the channels that, like you're just saying now, about how we're going to actually find these genuine resources where we can go to that can put these claims to bed, right, then you're just as bad. So everybody needs to be promoting the people that are actually putting the good content out, if that's your concern. Mark is bringing the people in, but let the people know where they can find the good stuff. Tell them, subscribe to them.
You didn't listen to what Nathan said.
You know, get the link and put it on your Facebook channel, put it on Twitter, things like that. You know,
what Nathan says, he's just talking. Those people, Nathan, they're just a cynic out there in the world, right? They will.
Like they're mainly all Xanics.
They will
I disagree.
They will not change their mind.
I disagree with what
if they debunk
with what Ranty said. You guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Just SX.
Almost
we can
nearly
hear you.
there. Just give him.
Yeah, I disagree.
I want SX to get to the end of his
I
statement.
disagree with what Ranty said.
We'll get to you, Babs.
All
I
right,
promise.
go ahead, SX.
Once SX is rounded out, then if you can go next, great. Go ahead, SX.
No. My internet is a little bit bad. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Babs.
I disagree with what Ranty. Well, I do agree with what Ranty said. I just disagree with what Chocolate said, because Chocolate said that people that are new to this are going to discover Mark Sargent and later on realize that his arguments are incorrect. But how are they going to find us? We're being censored on YouTube, so people can't find us anymore. So if the first impression that they're getting of Flat Earth is from Mark Sargent, and when they do a search to try and find out more about this, and all they get is the troll videos that are out there right now, that's not helping us at all.
Okay,
but the people that want to find it, they will find it.
Yeah, look what Mark Sargent does, right? On his front page, when you go to a new subscriber or a new person that visits Mark Sargent's homepage, right? When they check Mark Sargent, check him on YouTube, he's got his first section there that's liked videos, right? Liked videos. And it's all videos where he's got decent content from, right? So subtly or subconsciously, or whichever way you choose to use it, people might click those links and find people that way. You know, he's very clever with what he's putting out there and how he's got his setup. So if people are looking for a Mark Sargent on YouTube, they find this channel, they are going to find the way eventually if they click those liked videos.
The other thing
so he does promote good stuff.
Lastly, Mark's extremely approachable. I've yet to see him turn down any interview. So if you wanted to talk to Mark, to the point where he's spoken quite openly to people like Tim Osman on the telephone, even when he doesn't know who's being recorded, nevertheless, he's spoken to almost anybody. He puts his phone number out there. So he's one of those people.
You guys should get him on the panel. Get him on the panel.
I've
Give
interviewed
him
Mark.
a link. I reckon he should come on.
Yeah,
And
I do.
then
I put
we
it out in
can,
I do.
give him a nice little lesson.
I do. He has
Science.
opportunities to join. He can, you know. But
Can
by
I
the same
ask you a
token,
question? Can I ask Riley a question, please?
just one sec.
I want QE to teach him a little science.
Sure, I have interviewed
Mark,
Mark
it's
on
up.
multiple occasions. I spoke to him very recently in person, so it's not like I don't have any interaction with Mark. He's a good guy. I mean, last time I spoke to him, I don't think we talked about Flat Earth. You know, it was more about the conference and the people and things of that nature. So it's not like I sat down with him for lunch
Should have
last
talked
time.
about Flat Earth, man. You should have.
Well, yeah, you're probably right. I should have done. But it's not something that was weighing heavy on my mind at the time, so I didn't see any necessity. It was just, you know, chat to Mark, because I know him, I like him. Just have a little chit-chat, right? You don't think, all right, I've got my opportunity to sit down with him, right, I'll grill him on his belief in gravity. No, but perhaps I should have done.
Yes, that's true. You should have, but
Hey,
yeah. I
hey,
understand.
excuse me. Can I have some input here?
I've been waiting, by the way.
Go ahead, Paul. Go first. Can I go after Paul, please?
Sure.
I've actually emailed Mark myself. I've sent him photos. Like if you watch his slideshow, I actually found a picture of a clock at somebody's home and took a picture of it, and Mark actually got it in his slideshow, which I thought, wow, that's pretty crazy. And then you don't know if you guys remember the controversy that happened over the app. Do you remember that with Patricia and him, and became a big, huge thing?
Hail Megatron.
What's that?
Said Hail Megatron.
Yeah. And I actually emailed him. I said, Mark, I think there's something you need to address. And he actually read my email on his email show and addressed it on the show. I mean, I'm good with Nathan. I think if you just go to him and talk to him and approach him, I think he'll be open to it, even in this topic. And I agree with Ranty to a point, because I think Mark is the head of the sphere, but we do need to kind of clean the shit off. So.
Also, on a similar vein, yes, if you can go next, QE. On the subject of science, I've got this on my channel. Mark read out a chain letter that I sent out to everybody in regards to the abuse of science. When it was first prevalent to me and I realised how important it was, I sent it out to everybody. Mark read it on his email show. So it's not like he's not aware of this information. It's like you said earlier, Flatulent Unicorn, it should be all for science. Well, even if it's not at the level we are, he is aware of this. Sorry, go ahead, QE.
Yes, back to business. Crayon munching Trish Blythe. Is that you out there? Yeah, is that you out there? Where's your retard boyfriend and you on this panel? You got called out
She already
yesterday.
went on my panel today.
All right, I'm speaking right now, I thought.
Just saying.
Thanks. So, Crayon Munching Trish Blythe, go grab your retard, demonstrated liar, boyfriend, and get your butt on here and discuss this radio bounce off the moon. Okay? Number 2. Hey, shameless plug.
And then
time.
after that,
2 p.m.
Xanax can
Shameless plug.
also-
Hold on. 2 p.m. U.S. Central, 8 p.m. UK on the Quantum
He would talk
Eraser
to-
channel. A true pioneer of flat Earth. Interview with Robert Bassano. Be here, Quantum Eraser channel, or be Sphere. Thanks.
8 p.m. UK,
Just to
2
go
p.m.
back on the-
Central Standard. Quantum
just to
Eraser
go back
channel,
on-
be here, or be Sphere.
Well, John, are
Unicorn,
you saying
you
that
there?
he's actually
Xanax
clinging
also
to the
said he
moon
was
signal
coming in
bound?
today to speak to the pilot.
Say again, Elijah, you've been trying to get that in for ages. Go ahead.
Thank you, and sorry for interrupting the tail end, Quantum. My stuff is coming in late. But anyway, Xanax said he would come in today to talk to that pilot guy from yesterday, because in the after show, he's like, oh, that guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, so tell him on the live show, or tell him at least when he's present.
Get on this show, Trish Blythe. Get out of the chat, you little troll. Get your ass on here.
Talking of radio
Tired
bounce.
of your nonsense out there.
Speaking of radio
Get
bounces.
on here now.
Speaking of radio bounce, any evidence of the distance to the sun?
No.
Triangle, I think.
Got your old man right here. You
Your
freaking punk
evidence of a distance to the sun is a triangle.
cares about that distance.
Yeah,
Get on here.
triangulation.
I was going to say, Discord is full. Discord is full, and nobody can come on. Nobody else can come on.
Oh,
I think
we can
Mark
make room.
actually thinks he knows the size of the sun as well. I thought I'd just throw that in as well. But yeah, anyway. No confirmed distance to the sun, no.
Kiwi is triggered. He's triggered. No, 10 is triggered.
Kiwi
I got a
is
mission.
always triggered.
I'm
Get
the
your
only
damn
one.
retard boyfriend and get on here.
Okie dokie then.
But trigonometry, man. Don't you know?
Trigonometry.
40 minutes in, still doing housekeeping.
Ma-
Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
Oh yeah, it's in the book of the school, man. Yeah.
The book of the school. The book of bullshit.
Yeah, there's a picture of it and everything.
Oh, somebody's got their mic wide open with their engine running. About the R value, any evidence of Earth radius?
There is none. Bring that paralegal butt on here. You and that retard toady. Get on here.
Why is this guy so angry?
He's not angry. I'm triggered.
There's a
Good
claim
morning,
been
Highland.
There's been a claim been made in regards to bouncing radio frequencies off the moon, and Arwin was challenged to go and back that claim.
And that made him angry.
What? How does that work?
Yeah, that's annoying. Do you appreciate why that would be annoying without me explaining, Highlander?
I don't understand why it would get you angry.
Sure, I'll explain. If I told you that the blue cheese Stilton of a certain variety proved unicorn farts, and that was my claim, and you challenged it, and I said to you, you've only got to go out and find the evidence of this special Stilton, go out and find it to prove my claim, would you find that reasonable, that I demanded that you go out and backed my claim about unicorn farts with this cheese that you now need to go out and research?
I get your point, Nathan, but, you know, that wouldn't make me angry. I wouldn't start hurling abuse at people.
That's nice.
There are different personalities here. Some of us aren't like that. Some of us are. Welcome to kindergarten.
Yeah, different strokes for different folks, man. It's just the way it goes.
Hey, Highlander. I'll give it a shot.
I just wanted to know why he was so angry. You know?
Yeah, let me see if I could help you, Highlander. They're lying to us about everything. And some people really don't like
People
lies.
lie to us all the time.
Yeah, and there's some people
I
who
get
don't
really
like
pissed
lies.
when somebody lied.
See, you can sit there and say, "Oh, they lied to us," and I'm going to be civil about it. Other people don't like that at all, and there's everything in between you and those people in personality types. No one likes being lied to. Some people could be liberal and just sit there and take it. Other people are saying, "Forget it. I'm going to fight this with everything I got."
Yeah, I'm good. You can keep that bullshit. I don't like people lying to me. My fucking face every day? Nah, I'm good.
All right.
You can keep that.
A quick shout out to
Answer my
Super Looming
question.
Hyena, who says, "Stop making excuses for Mark Sargent. He makes Flat Earth look dumb." Fair enough. If you're entitled to your opinion, Super Looming Hyena, thank you very much for the super chat.
But how dumb? Because
Well,
he
then,
does always recommend people to
Super
keep an
Looming.
open mind and do their own research. So
I think if you asked Mark Sargent if he thought the betting app ad that he did was dumb, I think he'd probably say yes. Just guessing. He might say,
Right.
no, I think that's super serious while I'm stabbing a blow-up globe with a plastic sword.
Right. Well, it's still a
Can I
human
mention
being.
something about the anger thing, real quick?
Yeah, sure.
It's relatable
What's
to
up,
Mark
AI?
Sargent as well. For example, there's been a push in other forums that this show is too hostile and it should be toned down and more palatable for new people. And then you have the transverse, which is Mark Sargent should become more hardcore and straight-laced for the advanced people. But the truth of the matter is, it's just different flavors. If everyone becomes homogenous, then people aren't going to be as interested. Some people want the contention and the battle and the fight. That's why they keep showing up here. So Quantum Eraser being angry isn't ruining the show. It's fulfilling the niche in which it's necessary. Same for Mark Sargent.
Oh, shut up. What the fuck do you know?
I especially
I
like
couldn't
those.
agree more, AI. I
Right.
couldn't agree more.
I especially like those trolls that literally we all know come visit the debates or my channel or just get around in flat earth related chats every single day without exception for years, that then try to troll us that we have no life and that why are we doing this?
You mean the same people that show up in here every single day and tell us that flat Earth is dying every
Yeah,
single
exactly,
day,
exactly.
but are in here every single day?
Right.
Shout out to you guys.
I think that they're actually dying.
Zanuck came back, didn't he? I mean, he swore up and down to me that he'd never show back up on your show, but he came back. Just couldn't resist.
Yeah, they're addicted.
And then we got this appeal from Shu. What's your hypothesis? It's a Shu. So
And
when
a
is
big
the
fan there,
coward?
too?
So hold on. This is what she says. So when is the coward QE going to leave this safe place? For 2.5 years, and everyone knows this, I was on the circuit every day pounding you, proteins or DNA, into the incoherent oblivion. Every day I was out there taking on 8 and 9 of you clowns, and you know it. So what do you say in the chat? So when is coward QE going to come out of his safe place? Are you friggin' out of your mind?
Taking the bait. I get that all the time. So I could have the exact same rhetoric, which is to say that if you go through my channel, there's plenty of re-ups of me being on other people's channels debating this subject. Random people. Me up against 5 other, 10 other people. Yeah? But people will still say, oh, when are you going to leave your echo chamber? All right. Okay,
What,
so...
are you afraid?
Oh, no, not at all.
I want to give a shout out to Rob
No, but that's
Wolstein
what I
as you
was saying.
presented me, Nath.
Oh, yeah, you
I
are
just wanna-
presenting. Go ahead, Ranty. Did you want to mention something about this Metro article?
Yeah, possibly the funniest title in the history of Flat Earth that I've ever seen. Right. So this is apparently Uranus, the planet Uranus, apparently smells of farts. And they want to send a probe there. NASA wants to send a probe to test the atmosphere, apparently. But the headline is so funny. NASA wants to probe deep into Uranus in search of smelly gas.
Terrible.
You know what's funny about that also? I
Wow.
literally remember us making up that joke on the fly about half a year ago, live here on the debates. And that was literally like that. Remember that, guys?
Is Uranus a gas giant?
Yeah, you're right.
It's claimed
Uranus,
to be.
yeah?
Sorry, just on a serious note, is Uranus claimed to be a gas giant in the heliocentric model?
Yeah.
I forget. So
I remember.
Go on.
Yeah, Neptune is water, Uranus is gas.
So it's a second law of thermodynamics violation.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So
But the title is so
It's
funny.
a big fart flying around in the universe.
Yeah, essentially.
Oh, you're a truther, eh, Trish Blythe? Come on and give us the truth with your retard boyfriend Toady about your moon bounces. Truther. Clown.
It's a truther with 2 O's.
So Uranus is claimed to be a ball of gas, not expanding in all directions to fill the available volume. It's a stone-cold second law of thermodynamics violation, just like Earth.
Have we finished housekeeping yet?
Yeah, we had finished housekeeping. I asked for the R value. I don't think I
No, we
missed
got
any.
up to. No, we didn't. We got up to.
Oh, I missed
axis
one.
rotation.
Yeah, no, I did. I covered distance to the CERN. I did
No, you didn't.
I did. A molten iron core, R value, I did all of it. The only one I missed
No, you
was...
didn't.
I promise you I did. Honestly, I haven't got a terrible memory. It's just...
Guys, did he continue after axial rotation? Or have I had a brain fart here?
You've had a brain fart. Talking of farts and Uranus. It's a stone cold second law of thermodynamics violation. I just want to break that down to anybody who doesn't appreciate what that means. Entropy would take hold, and the gas, which wants to expand in all directions, would fill the available volume available to it. That is to say that claim to be gas giant violates a natural law. Just like Earth. Space, claimed to be a vacuum, is fake. The gas we experience here, not on a claimed gas giant in the sky, twinkling light. Here, we have gas pressure. Forget about what they claim about that light in the sky, Uranus in this example. We have gas pressure, therefore the sky is not a vacuum, space is fake. Whatever they claim that light is in their space fake medium of vacuum is ultimately always going to be debunked by their medium they claim it's in. Just want to get that in. Now, more of an update on the Trish Blythe news from Quantum Eraser. Over to you.
Yeah, I'm sure you want to watch Psy-Man Dan. What do you want him to do? Close a gated fence for you? Jeez, oh man, if you didn't have a pussy, you'd have a bounty on your head.
Ugh. Shout out to Constance Burns, who says, shout out to fart bubbles in otter nonsense space. Indeed. Thank you for the super chat, Constance Burns.
Shout out to Constance.
Hang on. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was from Constance.
Yeah, you like that? You like that mouth, don't you? I don't think you know who you're dealing with, do you?
Am I missing half a conversation?
Clowns. Yeah, bring that friggin' lawyer nonsense, you little paralegal bullshit, too. I'm just tired of your nonsense. I'm just tired of your coward chat troll nonsense. Yeah, you don't care. Your sister does.
Good job we have the chat on screen. I've just managed to go back through and see what actually is going on, as I'm only privileged to half the conversation unless I'm reading the chat in real time.
You don't need to have one. It's a concept, you clown. You can't even get that through your head. Yeah, what kind of depth do you have other than Formica deep? You're just like a regular globetard, pretender Dunning-Kruger clown. That's all you are. It's all you'll ever be. Thanks. Over.
Should I be filling in the other half of this conversation?
Yeah, you and your smiley faces. You're just pretender clowns, all of you. We all know it. Anyone that can fog a mirror knows it. All they have to do is just listen to one sentence that comes out of your mouth. You're being laughed at.
Any chance I can get the claim that's being made reiterated in regards to this moon bounce nonsense?
Sure.
It seems very personal, though.
Well, we're about to get it. I was just about... Thanks, Ranty. I've literally just taken all the personality out of it and asked about the claim. Everyone's sat glued to the chat, aren't they? I can just sense it.
Stunned silence. Stunned silence, mate.
Maybe you can give it us, Ranty. Can you give us what's the claim in regards to the moon bounce?
Well, I think Toady did a presentation. I think it was on Jose's, or Jose re-uploaded it, about this moon bounce thing. Trish seems to think it has some validity, and I think QE disagrees. So that's all I know.
Typically, the request is for cowbell. So has there been any?
I've not followed it. I didn't even know it was this much of an issue. To be fair, I didn't realize it was so heated.
Did you go out and prove their claim for them, Arwin? As demanded? Is this thing on?
Yeah, it's on. And then you started to take pot shots at my friends. That's not a very good idea. Clown show.
Well, this is going to be one of the most awkward segues into the after show.
Can I say this? This is what it seems like. We've got the bully that's been going around the yard poking at people. QE shows up and says, "Who is doing that?" And they run away. That's what it makes it sound like.
Well, I've got a premiere tonight, if that helps.
Oh, yeah.
If change the subject a little. I have a premiere, so I've not been able to live stream, but I did record a video last night with Brian. So Brian's doing a a presentation this evening, 11 p.m. BST UK time. Is that 5 p.m. Central, Nathan?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, Trish Blythe. Is Brenda going to come to your friggin' rescue? Brenda. Yeah, Brenda, go debate him. Save me, Brenda. Brenda is probably one of the stupidest people in this whole community. Not even speaking to the fact of natural phenomena, shoe. What's your hypothesis? It's a shoe. She once said about 2.5 years ago when I was too scared to come on a debate scene, when she said DNA was made of amino acids. Yeah, that would be a real challenging debate, right? Let me get a preschooler out here to debate. Oh, that already happened. A 12-year-old pummeled knucklehead Brenda into the incoherent oblivion live in front of about 2,200 people. So, yeah, she's your knight in shining armor, Trish Blythe. What a joke you are. Go back to the rock you crawled on.
Well, speaking of hypotheses, Paul and I were on the after show yesterday trying to explain what natural phenomena is and why, I guess, a shoe is not a natural phenomenon. Clearly, people don't understand.
Slightly rough internet. Well, this will be my opportunity as it's the last one on the live show to plug the Quantum Eraser channel, as there is an interview or show with Robert Pisano going out at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time and 8 p.m. UK. Again, if you're not privy to watching my second channel, subscribe below in the info box if you're not already. There will be a show after the after show, which is Ranty Flat Earth's premiere with Brian, so be sure to check that out as well. As I say, subscribe to my second channel. If you are watching on the second channel, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, if you're watching this live on Nathan Oakley 1980, this is where we bid you farewell. A massive, huge, enormous thank you to all of you smashed the super chat, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. I've been Nathan Oakley, another massive thank you to all of today's debating panel, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Natural.
What's up, man?
I'm good, bro. I'm in Dallas. I'm in Texas getting ready for the conference. I'm just a couple hours away from Dallas.
Hey, Nathan.
Did you take your hammer and your ball with you, Nathan?
I always have my hammer and my ball with me.
Am I coming through? Can I be heard? It seems like everybody's not hearing me.
We hear you.
Yeah, we hear you, Paul.
I hear you.
No.
Did you have a salient point that was ignored completely?
I hear you.
They talked right over you. I still didn't even hear you, Nathan, so I don't even think they can hear me.
Yeah, we can't hear you, mate.
Sorry, darn it, you can't hear me. What can I really say?
No, we have to check your mic with you.
What were you saying, Paul?
Oh, I was just saying that was funny yesterday, talking to Danny, trying to tell me that everything that's man-made is still natural. And then if you make an experiment that's still natural too, it was like, really? And I think they were I realized as I was listening to him talk, I mean, you have to obey natural law to even do an experiment. You can't violate it. So even when you put up an experiment, you're trying to manipulate whatever you're doing to cause an effect, but you can't, and they're equating the two. So like my electronics still have to obey the laws of nature. They can't get away from it. But that's because a man made my laptop. That's still natural. You know, I was like that. It was like I don't know where he's off the deep end somewhere. So
Causing
anyway,
a bit of
funny.
feedback, Nathan Thompson.
Notice,
I don't know where
as
Dan
funny
was
as it
coming from
was, Ranty put up that article about the gas and Uranus.
Hold on a second, 10th man. Nathan Thompson, can you pop yourself on mute? You're causing feedback and we can hear you sniffing and stuff.
Sorry, guys. My bad.
Go on, 10th man. Sorry.
Yeah, I posted a bunch of pictures from the Express on Masterbeat today, how they just keep space alive with pictures and asteroids coming and, you know, this black hole here. And so Ranty pulls up that article about the smelly gas on Uranus, which is so funny, actually. But see, it's just begging the question. They want you talking about those things that aren't real. And they just keep this in front of everybody through the newspapers and these stupid articles. And it just reminded me of the video of the ISS, supposedly the guy playing a guitar and floating through there with the gorilla mask. I mean, this is such silliness. This is supposed to be real.
Did you hear about the one recently with PNAS?
No, what
That's like
happened?
an acronym for some space agency thing, and they were talking about the clouds and Uranus and PNAS. It was hilarious. I can't remember the
They're
acronym off
trolling
the
us.
top of my head.
They're trolling us. That's insane.
Yeah, the sexual innuendo is palpable. You know.
One way of making the rhetoric stick with dirty jokes, I suppose.
I can't remember. I can't recall you doing housekeeping questions though. Generally, I must have had a brain fart for a moment there.
They were dispersed throughout the show. That's why it wasn't like 5 minutes at the beginning. There was like quite long sections discussing each of the subjects, and then I'd ask the next question when there was a gap.
Ranty, you can't say brain fart after that article, please.
I think he definitely needs to win an award for that title though. It's the funniest title I've ever seen.
Do you think it was intentional? Like to
Yeah,
mock
I
people?
was intentional.
Pun headlines are a staple for newspaper columnists, right? That's what their bread and butter is, making funny headlines.
I should know.
So you'll appreciate the word.
You wear one?
It just 10th man makes a lot of puns.
Ooh, I think I may have found some curvature.
Sorry, is there a time dilation problem here? The question was asked about an hour ago.
Yeah, I just got it. Just came in.
Oh, I see. Fresh off the presses.
This just in.
This just in from Arwin.
Right. There was a boat over the curve found. So if I'm presenting.
Yeah, I got you on.
Right.
Don't
so
joke
take a
about
look.
that. Don't turn into a Jose. You're better than that.
Or wait, you're funny.
Are you having me on?
This is great.
Are you joking, Darwin?
But that's cool though. It's cool because you get to play the video again. Jose's video is pretty awesome for a 1 minute video.
We covered this on the show, Arwin.
What?
We covered this on the
I don't think
show.
Arwin was here. I think
Yesterday?
he got here late.
Yesterday.
No, this
Oh,
morning.
yeah, I completely missed yesterday. Sorry.
No, it was today.
Yeah, I shared it this morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you got here a little late. It's all good. It's a good video.
No worries. I mean, yeah. But you know, Peter Parker got here first.
Real quick, I've got this. I've been sharing this for a little while, or up on the screen for a little bit, and talking about the second law and entropy. And the more I've thought about it, every time I hear a globe.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Everyone's just suddenly decided to have absolutely no mute discipline. Go ahead, Paul.
Every time I talk to the Globers about the gas pressure issue, they always bring up, you know, like with differential pressure and all that stuff. But if you watch this little video here, you can see it, the second law of thermodynamics and entropy. He actually talks about like how each system, you know, the open system, closed system, and all this stuff, and how there has to be an exchange of energy going on and occurring, and also the different states of matter. Like, and he uses this. You can see it. This little circle is his container, and those little particles they're in one clump center of the container. But over time, they start bouncing. They have to take up whatever possible state can occur. They're going to try to occupy that state, and that's what entropy is. If they're saying gravity is so-called cause of the maintaining the gas pressure, that means that gravity has to decrease entropy. Am I understanding that correctly? QE?
Yeah, basically.
But it can't, because it would definitely violate the second law of thermodynamics, because gas has to want to, through kinetic energy, want to occupy all possible locations. And he's using diffusion as an example in this. Like everything diffuses, gases diffuse, liquids diffuse. That's part of entropy, trying to occupy whatever possible state they can occur in. So I don't know, I don't know. This video is really good. It's short too.
Yeah, that's spot on. That's why, although both of us got in trouble for it from Sleeping Warrior, Quantum Eraser and I would toe the same line and say you can have it. Have your gravity. Makes no difference to gas law. Entropy's still going to take effect. It doesn't make any difference. So have them. But then you get Sleeping Warrior going, look, don't just give them gravity when I'm fighting against it over here, sods.
So gravity, according to the ball rhetoric, gravity can overcome entropy, can decrease entropy, not increase it. It can decrease it.
Depends which part of the rhetoric you go to. I don't think you'd even get a mention in Einsteinian, would it?
To me?
No,
I'm not
I don't think entropy would get a mention in Einsteinian mechanics, the bending of a concept. That gravity.
You don't think it, it doesn't get mentioned. Oh, no, it doesn't ever get mentioned that I've heard of so far.
It's designed to work for either no mass or one body of mass.
Evening, guys.
Did I hear someone say precisely?
No.
Maybe not. Just the
Sounded like
voices in my head
somebody said, "Good
affirming
evening,
that I'm saying the
guys."
right thing.
It seems like they always move the focus of the argument onto. I don't even know how to explain it. It's like when they describe being on a merry-go-round and then saying, no, pay attention to the ball, pretend you're the ball. That doesn't have any different reference frame. It's like you're not explaining Coriolis then. And then so yesterday, when we were talking about entropy, I brought up a bowl of soup, and it was like the entropy is going down because the energy is dispersing into the available space. And so they're focusing on the room and not what's happening to the soup, because that's where the argument started for them, the room, saying, oh, so the entropy in the room is going up, and then starting the conversation. I'm like, it's really backwards, man. I don't know.
And QE, help me in my understanding of this too. You can't describe energy without using something to describe it with. For instance, when you talk about energy, it has to be a particle. Space has no energy. It has to be associated with something, right? Am I understanding that correctly? QE?
And that sounds spot on with what I was trying to describe. Yeah. That's
what space?
Isn't that
if they're talking about energy, there has to be some type of something existing, some type of matter.
What space?
Space is that which which objects occupy. I guess that's simple.
Not in their rhetoric.
Huh?
Not in their rhetoric.
So I'll have you guys know that I watched Star Wars for the first time in a really long time, and it was really ruined for me. It sucked. I'm sorry.
Just give up all of that stuff as soon as you come to Flat Earth. I've said this many a time. I spent months putting my entire DVD and Blu-ray collection onto this computer, and the instant I found out about the nature of our reality, most, if not all of it, was suddenly useless, not worth watching anymore. You know, Star Wars being one example.
Back to space. Whenever they say space, what space?
Yeah, you got to get them.
Oops, sorry.
I was just going to say, you got to get them to tie down what precisely they mean by the definition. If they're talking about their funded belief in a sky vacuum versus the area that a gas can occupy. Now, the reality is that the two would be one and the same thing, but they have special pleading applied to their sky vacuum.
Yeah, this is a killer for their argument, because if they're going to say vacuum of space, then you got to bring in a violation of the second law in Earth's atmosphere. So demonstrate it. Demonstrate your vacuum of space next to a dynamic system that has an atmosphere without a barrier.
What do you mean demonstrate? They don't like when you say demonstrate it. They don't like that. They just want to explain it. They want to give you stories, man. They have no demonstration for any of this shit.
Well, the other day, someone
explanation.
challenged Nathan about proving the barrier, the container. Well, we can demonstrate you can't have gas pressure without one. The antecedent is a container. Here, we can do that. Yeah, but you can't see it. Well, we're talking about gas pressure. That's the proof. We can't see that. We do feel that.
And it's funny that they use volume when they're talking about gas pressure. And I was like, you guys are thinking about gases and weighing it on a scale as if it goes down. No, in order to weigh quote unquote gas, you actually have to weigh the pressure, which is why you use the gauge.
Well, how can you have volume without a container?
It's called a barometer, right?
Yeah. Or whatever.
Well, a barometer is different than weighing something. Barometer is measuring atmospheric pressure, but a scale doesn't necessarily weigh atmospheric pressure. So.
Really?
Right.
Their
point is that
Yeah,
it's like
you are.
their point is that it's like the atmosphere has weight, and that's why they're not trying to say it's layered, because they definitely do a good job trying to stay away from saying it's layered, but they want to make it so that the atmosphere somehow has weight. And I'm like, no, that's not how that works.
How does it work?
Well, wait a minute. I want to ask.
So you're saying the atmosphere is the same all the way from the bottom to the top?
Can we explain what I'm missing?
No, it's not. Saying it's not a vacuum at the top.
I'm sorry. Paul asked me something. What do you mean? What are you missing?
Well, I mean, I said a barometer is different than a regular, like a scale. What is that? What am I missing?
Yeah, you made the statement that it wouldn't affect weight, and I'm saying that you're wrong. You got a sensitive enough scale. Air pressure is going to definitely have an impact on that scale.
Okay. Okay. Then I retract my earlier statement.
Yeah, that's just that simple. I wasn't saying that you were wrong with your barometer take. I was just saying about low pressure and high pressure areas and sensitive scales. If you're weighing stuff, you have to take that into account, right?
So that would, if you're right on that, then
Well, I know
when it shows that a weight, or the Wolfie when he goes around different latitudes and weighs something, the barometric pressure could affect that.
Yeah, duh. Does he state the barometric pressure in those areas?
Nope, he didn't.
Of course he doesn't, because he's just a pretender clown.
Okay. That was my argument against him, or Zanuck was bringing that up. That was
Sorry.
my argument against the
I hate
barometric
to do this
pressure.
to cut you off, Paul. I'm really sorry. So people have just heard the end of the argument. If they're listening to this, they won't make any sense of that. So we're talking about the Epvos effect and the claim that if you travel to a different latitude, you'll have a different force of gravity applied, and you can show this demonstratable by weighing something at one point, moving, and then weighing it again and showing that there's a difference in weight. The end argument being, well, has the barometric pressure been demonstrated in these examples? Well, no, of course it isn't. Not to mention the fact that it's an affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy. If you have latitude lines at these different positions on a sphere Earth, then we'll see weight change. We see weight change, therefore we have latitude lines. It's just an affirming the consequent, but their actual claim isn't proved in the first instance because they don't take into account the barometric pressure.
It is an affirming consequent formal logical fallacy. You're right, Nathan. Good job.
Highlanders asked a question, and Nathan, you were about to answer.
Got the question he asked. Sorry, what was your question, Highlander?
Is he there?
Maybe you can repeat it.
Yeah, the lad said something about that there is no layers to the atmosphere. Does that mean he's saying that the atmosphere is the same from the bottom right to the very top?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just trying to repeat the argument from the globe side. That's not what I'm saying.
No. Anisotropic inhomogeneous mixture of gases. Not homogeneous means. Or homogeneous.
That's heterogeneous mixture, Nathan.
Means ordered, like layers. Like plywood. Got distinct layers that are ordered. In harmony. Well, the antithesis of that is inhomogeneous. That's what the atmosphere is. It's all mixed up. Not in layers.
How can gases be in layers when gas behavior speaks to moving freely and randomly at high speeds? How can something move freely and randomly at high speeds and then be layers? Please, somebody tell me.
I think that the gentleman has misunderstood the term the layers of the atmosphere. We're not saying that, you know, at one point it's only just oxygen and at another point it's only just nitrogen. That's not what we're saying.
Well, nobody suggested
I
that.
also said you guys do a good job at trying to say that you're not saying it's layered.
Hold on. Nobody represented it in that manner that we were saying that the gases will separate. But what are you saying? What are you suggesting then in terms of how the atmosphere is made up?
Well, to my knowledge, the atmosphere gets thinner as you go up, yeah? Which is why they name the different layers of the atmosphere.
There you go again with the word layer. Anisotropic inhomogeneous.
You just said it's layered.
Mixture
Realize
of
that,
gases. Not layers. Can't be in layers. It's free to move in all directions and mix together.
The layers
why do we have the
are
term
attribute
layers of the
assigned.
atmosphere? And we have names for those layers.
Do we? Who
Yeah,
has
but they're
these?
basically arbitrary.
Who's giving it these terms?
Yeah, exactly. Humans.
No. We. That's not. Well, we aren't. So I want to know who is. I'm not asking you, Arwin.
Well, the scientific community then. Why
Oh,
do
who
they
cares?
have
Who cares?
names for different layers for the atmosphere?
Names? Naming things? Who cares? So because someone's named it such, I don't care.
And to try to move this along, I think what he's trying to do, well, not him, but I'll say what they're trying to say is, why is the pressure different here than it is higher up in elevation? And I don't think we touched on that. I don't think we touched on the fact that most of the gases are produced here, which is why, but you can carry that away.
Yeah, exactly. You've answered the question. The gases are produced at ground level. Simple. They're not produced in the middle of the sky, not Babs, Highlander.
How much gas do you produce a day, Nathan?
No idea.
A lot, I suspect.
It's a cycle. It's generally kept reasonably in check, in balance, because it's cycling.
From the bottom. All that hot air you're spewing must be bad for the atmosphere.
I can't quite hear what you're saying. I'll just turn you up a bit, Chris. Say that again.
Nothing. I didn't say anything.
No worries.
He said all the hot air that you're spewing.
Boom, boom.
So that's what he said. But then he was not forthcoming.
That wasn't me. That was someone impersonating my voice.
Haha.
That was really good.
Uranus? Did you write the article about Uranus?
I didn't catch that one, though.
Oh, you didn't see that one? Yeah, a gas giant out there in nowhere land, all held together by a container, I suppose.
So let me ask a question. So if geez, how can I word this? So I would think that the next logical thought, and I don't want to put this on Globers, but they're like, if the gas is produced here, their argument is going to be, yeah, that's why it like disperses slowly into space. Man, I try to have this argument, but I don't think I'm the best person for it, because the best thing I can say is that, okay, gases have energy, and so if you're saying that the air is less dense the higher up you go, then that energy should be taking those molecules faster and further. But I don't know if that's the correct.
Yeah, that's the second law of thermodynamics. That is entropy. The gas would fill the space. Them saying that it just slows down and eventually just stops, and then the rest of it beyond that's vacuum. It doesn't even matter where they push the Tor values are. The bottom line is they've got an open system, no containment, next to a vacuum. There's no way around that. None. Them saying, oh no, it just slows down. No, it doesn't. If the sky was a vacuum, the gas would rapidly expand in all directions and fill the available volume as quickly as a nanosecond. It would just bang, gone. That'd be it.
Sucked off. Just boom. Sucked
Well,
right
no,
off.
pressed out. The gas is expanding in all directions. It's not being sucked into the void. It's just expanding because it can travel unimpeded in a given direction. So it just travels in that direction until it hits something.
Which direction does it get sucked off in?
I just said it doesn't get sucked off. It's just free to move in any direction it chooses freely. And it just travels out until it hits something. Well, if it's travelling out into a void of a vacuum, it'll just keep travelling. Whereas the fundies think that somehow the fundies that interrupt me when it comes to these devastating points think that somehow it stops and then a vacuum forms. And if you were to look back from one of the other planets, you'd see a little dot, a little gas dot, magically staying in a vast expanding vacuum and not dispersing. Just a stone cold violation of a natural law.
Do you think there's a big pole in the North Pole where it gets sucked off?
Why do you keep saying sucked off? It's not being sucked off.
He's being a smartass.
Yo, can we stop saying sucked off? Because it's obviously making everyone laugh.
No, he's being a smartass, and they deserve QE.
Oh no! Don't unleash the John on me.
Hey, listen, just go look at all the MIT, Harvard YouTube videos on a container with a barrier.
Sucking off.
And one side of it is a vacuum. The other side is air gas pressure and they lift the container barrier, what happens?
The gas would fill
Yeah,
the
but you can't
available
compare
volume.
that to the Earth
Thank you
atmosphere
very
theory.
much. Now
Gas would get
demonstrate your space next to an atmosphere, how it won't. Demonstrate that once and I'll give in.
There's one other word the MIT lecturer said.
Why?
Instantaneously.
Yes, that's right.
QE, why are you comparing a single gas in a container next to a vacuum? That's not how the Earth's atmosphere works.
Oh, so
why are
appeal to
you
your...
comparing the two?
You know what you've just done? You've just
my
pointed
gosh.
at the sky and appealed to your belief in what it does as your proof. That's called circular reasoning. That's not what the sky does. What, according to your belief in what the sky does? Circular reasoning, Highlander.
Well, I mean, to be clearer to Highlander, the thing is, for some reason, you guys are stuck on thinking about a tire with tire pressure. You have to look into this more. It's not our Earth. The Earth is not just made of one gas that just fills up the Earth and that's it. Like we say all the time, it's a dynamic system. Gases fluctuate and do all this other stuff. It's not just one. It's not how you're explaining it. It's not like the tire pressure. It's not just that. It's more than that. So you're not going to debunk us just by explaining it that way. You're missing something, is what I'm trying to say.
But you couldn't have that tire pressure without that tire, could you?
There can be only one.
That's the one.
When you look at Earth and see that the sun rises every day and heats everything up, and you got trees and rivers and all kinds of plant life and oxygen is being produced at ground level, that's mixing up all day long, and then nighttime comes and it does something else because the sun's not out.
I thought
It's
the
a
sun wasn't
dynamics-
real because space isn't real.
Excuse me. My goodness,
Too
you're
keen
like
to straw
gas
man you.
mixing it all up.
You're making a point, 10th man, so he needs to get his new argument no one's discussed over the top of what you're stating, so he can straw man you in the middle of your statement. It's very keen as he's being taken to pieces.
And
No, I understand.
And I'm
That's why
trying to
I
help
said
you,
earlier.
Highlander. I'm trying to help you not get cursed out and then tell everybody that you get cursed out for no reason. Right now, I'm helping be very civil. I'm trying to help you connect the dots. And I'm not trying to be condescending. I'm just trying to get you to understand what it is we're saying so that you don't build straw mans, because that'll get a lot of people pissed off. Go ahead, guys.
Thank you. There's a simple thing that we've all experienced, Highlander. If you take a gallon of gasoline and you put it into a container where the mark on the container says don't fill higher than this, right? And you let that out to sit in the sun, it expands and it just bloats like crazy. And at nighttime, it does the opposite. And that's just one type of gas inside a plastic container. Imagine the Earth with all kinds of gases. It's simple.
Last time I was here, Highlander said the dependent variable was water. So I just wanted to point that out.
Most pertinent point so far was
Yeah, but
chocolates.
you use the sun as an example, but in your religious belief, the sun doesn't exist because space doesn't exist.
Dude, this
So
guy's
how
such
can
a
you
troll.
use that as an
Why do you guys
example?
entertain
Nobody
this
claimed
guy?
that.
He's such a troll.
Highlander, the sun is in the container.
I haven't
Right,
claimed
so the
that.
sun is inside our container. Or your
Absolutely.
container.
Absolutely.
I don't know that. I don't know what the sun is.
Right.
I don't say I don't claim the sun doesn't exist. We claim the sky vacuum doesn't exist. Obviously, the sun is there. I don't know what it is. I know what you claim it is.
Is the sun hot?
I don't know.
Did he
Seems
just
that
ask
way.
if the sun's hot?
Certainly seems that way.
Yes, when it's out, it's hot. Yes.
But
Highlander.
we're sidetracked. So this Highlander
Wouldn't
conversation
you think
was...
that if the sun was inside the container, then it would burn up the...
Who cares? We were
available
talking
atmosphere?
about gas pressure, were we not?
Oh, gas pressure.
Yeah, and Chocolate got to a
Yeah,
point where
but
he said...
the sun being inside the Earth's atmosphere.
I know you're
would
keen to
affect
argue your straw man,
the
Highlander.
pressure.
I know you're keen to argue your straw man. This is the third time I've pointed out that this isn't on topic. We were talking about gas pressure. So
right, Chemo should be involved in this because he knows that gas pressure is a whole.
No, he doesn't.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Well, fine. Asking for
I
someone
don't
else
think
to
he
make
ever
a
said
point
so.
when Chocolate's already made one, which is without the tyre, you're not going to have gas pressure inside a tyre. That's not possible. But that's precisely what your world is. Now suddenly we're being strawmanned and rumpused about the sun.
So now we live inside a tyre.
Yeah, the necessary antecedent to have the gas pressure we experience would be a container, Highlander. Without the container, there can be no pressure.
Right, so where's the edges of the container?
Don't know. We just know
Surely,
that it's that...
you know, surely if we can't go high enough to see the container, we should be able to travel far enough.
Oh, I've not asserted
non-container?
that I can see a container. I've said it's the necessary antecedent to have gas pressure. So I'm not asserting what it looks like, and I don't know. What I do know is we have gas pressure. And to have gas pressure, it needs to press on something.
It presses on the couch.
Highlander, you need to go watch the last 1,000 episodes, buddy.
Right, but what I'm saying is, with all the exploring we've done over our land, why have we never come across this container?
Why don't you ask your keepers rather than YouTubers? We just know we have gas pressure. But you're dancing past it like all the fundies who get presented this information.
Hey,
and they start talking
Highlander.
through me while I'm making the point. Again, you're talking through me while I make the point. I am not telling you what your world is. I'm telling you that the people who do are lying. Because without the container, there can be no pressure. And we definitely have pressure. Now, I don't want to talk about the sun, and I don't want you to ask me what the sky container is. I have no idea. I do know that we're being... Why are you talking through me?
No, that's somebody else.
I do know that there is a positive claim. I'm not the one making it, so you can pull it apart. I'm saying there is a positive assertion that's debunked by this natural law. Now that's what I'm attacking. You desperately needing me to present something so you can take that apart when there's a prevailing lie that's definitely being preached is an outrage. I don't claim what the sky is. NASA definitely do, muttering fundies. So why aren't we asking them? Why isn't Highlander knocking on their door? Why is he asking me, the person pointing out that there's a lie, to come up with a new just so shit story so he can attack that? Rather than focusing on the fact that there is an outstanding positive assertion about what the sky is, it's claimed to be a vacuum, and that's bullshit. You don't need to attack me for something I haven't claimed when there's a definite claim that it's a vacuum. Simple.
Nathan, you're going
Can
to
I
get
ask-
yourself a stroke, man.
Can I
You're
ask
not
Highlander
standing
something
up.
now?
But you're the one making the claim there is...
No, I'm not! You stupid fundy dick! I am not making a claim about the sky. Gas pressure is my claim. We definitely have it. And the necessary antecedent is a container. Now, there's a positive assertion from the fundy sky vacuum believers that the sky is a vacuum. Not my claim.
Nathan, you're going to give
Can I
yourself
try-
an aneurysm, bro.
I'm going to kick Chris out. Chris, shut everyone shut up. Everybody shut up. Everybody be quiet except Chris. Do you have anything to offer here, Chris, besides your depressed dumb fuckery?
I'll get back to you on that one.
Yeah, you can fuck right off, you stupid twat. You've got absolutely nothing to offer here, Chris. You are, to all intents and purposes, idiotic. So, Highlander, now that with my increased blood pressure I've managed to get us back on track, I'm asking you specifically about the sky vacuum claim from your fundy belief in a sphere Earth that comes from other people who aren't me. What about that claim? That's bullshit.
Right. In our world, the gas pressure goes from what it is at sea level all the way up to like matches outer space.
That's just your fundy belief. I've already told you off twice for using circular reasoning. That is not sound logic. The fact that you believe the sky is a vacuum in violation of natural law, and then say, because I believe the sky is a vacuum, that proves it's a vacuum, that's circular reasoning. Third time I've pointed this out to you.
And also, if I can add...
No, wait, Elijah. I just want to talk to one person at a time.
To that of outer space, then we wouldn't have equilibrium.
Didn't hear the beginning part. Could you say that again?
If the gas pressure at the top of the Earth's atmosphere matches that of outer space, are you saying we wouldn't have equilibrium?
That's the biggest load of word salad nonsense you could ever assert. Equilibrium is everything being equal, and you're saying if the pressure at the top matches the pressure that doesn't exist, well, those two things don't match, so they're definitely not equilibrium. Shut up with the stupid word salad.
Yeah, but you said you don't know what the sky is, so how...
So what, you're going to assert that equilibrium is a differential? A completely batshit crazy, insane statement? Is all you've got to challenge me with utter word salad? Is that your only rebuttal? I'm asking you about the positive assertion that the sky is a vacuum, debunked by natural law, not a claim I'm making. I'm simultaneously asking why you want to strawman me into a position I've not made so you can attack that when there is a positive claim that's total bunk.
In other words, the heliocentric model is breaking gas laws.
Now, I still don't see how it's breaking any gas law.
Because the gas would fill the space. It's the second law of thermodynamics. Entropy. The gas will expand in all directions to fill the available volume. I'd like you to repeat what I've just said, so I understand that you understand that it's in violation of the second law of thermodynamics.
It's not in violation, not...
Yeah, it is. The gas will expand in all directions to fill the available volume. It's called entropy. It is a natural law. You will never, ever, ever show a violation of this. If you could, it wouldn't be a law.
Right, so why is the gas pressure not the same at the top of the Earth's atmosphere as what it is at the bottom then, Nathan?
That's called a straw man argument about the dynamic system that we live in. We've already explained this too. Gas is created at ground level in a dynamic system. In order to have that dynamic system in the first instance and have any gas pressure, gradiated or otherwise, you'd need the necessary antecedent of a container. And there's a positive assertion yet to be addressed by the fundy who still wants to attack me and claim natural laws don't hold true, that the sky is in violation of that natural law by being a vacuum.
No, still no violation.
Yeah, the gas will expand in all directions to fill the available volume. That is entropy. That is a natural law, and your fucking sky vacuum violates that law. The fact that you can hand wave it and say, me, who has absolutely not the slightest chance of ever summarising what the second law actually is, I'm going to hand wave it. You think that's a rebuttal?
And Highlander, why do you think, you in effect think that the gas that's up there slowed down to a point where it's actually being held by the gravity. Why do you believe that? Because that's exactly what you guys' argument is. You might not have said it, but that's what your argument is boiled down to. Why do you think gas is slowing down when there's less? Why do you think that?
Right. Let me just put it this way, right? Even if I've
No. Don't put it another way. I would like to know that, because I don't want to circle back around to why you want to know why it's 14 psi here and it's something less up there. I want to know, why do you think it's less up there? Do you think gas is slowing down as it reaches the top and then held in by gravity? Is that what you
does it
think?
matter?
So we can address that now.
What does it matter? What does it matter? He started off with gas pressure gradients. That's not the claim. Gas pressure gradients is not the claim. It is gas pressure. Where did you get gas pressure without the container? So you can't have delta X without X. Where'd you get X?
Elijah, did you see the picture I just posted in Discord?
Hold on.
Hello?
My question's still out there. Where did you get X? You understand the concept, right?
No, they don't understand the question. They just strawman us continually because they don't understand that question. Without gas pressure, you're not going to have gas pressure gradients. And gas pressure is the force it presses on the walls of a container. When you get a square inch in your PSI value, that's the square inch of the container it's pressing on.
Right, so now you're asserting that there is a container.
Gas pressure requires a container. I'll say it a bit slower just for Highlander. It's about the 5th time. To have gas pressure, it needs to press on something. And we definitely have gas pressure.
Right, my point is, with all the exploration of the land that we live on, right, whether it be flat or a ball, why have we never, ever came across this container?
Who's we?
Surely we would have
Who's
came
we?
across the wall
Who?
of the container.
Shut up!
Even if you haven't
Shut
come
up!
across the
Stop
steel-
with the bloody word salad. On and on and on. On and on with your word salad. Who the hell is we? Who's we?
The human explorers that went around exploring the planet.
And who are they? Planet? That's a begging the question fallacy. Who are they? Are they by any chance the ones that tell you it's a vacuum?
He doesn't even know why he even gets angry.
Who are they? Everyone shut up. Who are they, and are they by chance the ones that tell you the sky's a vacuum? Because my point is you should be attacking them, not me.
So you're saying the people that went on boats...
Yeah, they! You stupid dick. The ones that you are talking about, they are the ones who claim it's a vacuum. And you're saying, why haven't they found a container? Whistling past the fact they're lying to you about what the sky is. And asking me why they, the ones who are lying, haven't told you about a container. Why don't you address the fact that they are lying to you?
Not lying.
They're not lying. So natural law doesn't apply to your fundy sky vacuum belief. The gas won't fill the space because you believe that the sky is a vacuum.
Yep, he's a science denier.
You're science deniers. You fundy globehead morons are science deniers. Highlander, the gas would fill the space. I've said it 5 times. I want you to tell me why they don't tell you about the container.
Because there is no container, Nathan.
Yeah, there must be. It's the necessary antecedent. Are you deaf? Are you a science denier? It's the necessary antecedent, you stupid fundy science denying globehead. No, there's definitely gas pressure here and it needs to press. It's pressure. Now the people, they say the sky's a vacuum in violation of that natural law. Why aren't you on their back? Why are you asking me to prove a container when they tell you it's a sky vacuum?
Because they don't say there's a container.
Yeah, they lie. They say it's in violation of natural law. So why are you on my back and not theirs?
Because they're not making the claim.
Yeah, they are making the claim. They claim the sky is a vacuum.
Why are you even wasting your breath on this guy?
Yeah, this guy's such a waste of time, Nathan. You're way too talented talking to this.
Jesus Christ. I mean, he asserted yesterday that sand will make the egg float up. I mean...
I just want to know why he deems it necessary to challenge
I'm
me.
going to introduce Sleeping Warriors experiment. I'm just waiting to get the final details of his experiment.
Shut up, Highlander.
No, I'm happy to have this conversation with him. I want to know why he's asking why they haven't showed him a dome or a container, and why he's interrupting me or whoever that is. Why is it that he's asking about the people who give him the rhetoric, and why they don't tell him about the necessary antecedent? Why do they lie about a vacuum?
This is so boring.
No, actually, it's quite good. It's quite good because the same they tell Highlander you can't have gas pressure without a container, and the same day say you have outer space next to gas pressure. So it's a very good point, and Nathan's trying to get this guy to wake up that the they lie and contradict themselves.
Has he defined gas pressure yet?
But the same
Has
day,
he defined gas pressure yet?
they make pictures
Has he defined
about
gas pressure yet?
Wait, so in the beginning, we have
my mic working?
Go ahead, Chocolate.
Yeah, he's not
the
listening
gas
to you.
in the container.
What
Where
is gas?
did he get the gas from?
That's
Who put
our
the gas
question.
inside the container?
That's our question. So what you've done is you've decided that our really devastating winning point should become yours. Yet where'd you get the gas pressure from? What is gas pressure? Quantum Erase has just asked you to define it. What is gas pressure, Highlander?
I just asked you, was the container there first and somebody put the gas in it?
So what gas? You've got
Is
a
that
sky
what you're
vacuum. What gas? You're being asked that question. We don't make any assertion about what the sky is. We say you need a container to have gas. And we do have gas pressure. That's what we experience. You claim the sky is a vacuum, and you're asking me where I get the pressure from. Where do you get the pressure from, given you've got an infinitely expanding vacuum for the gas to fill?
Is this what you and Sleeping Warrior want to teach our kids?
Why are you asking me about Sleeping Warrior? I'm not his keeper. My name's Nathan Oakley.
We don't know where it is. We don't know how high up it is. We don't know how far away the walls are.
Define gas pressure, clown.
He's off on his word salad. He won't listen to you. You can ask him 5 times and he will not address it, ever. Let's try a direct question and answer. See if he answers you, QE. Go ahead.
Define gas pressure. And with that definition, we need citation. Thanks.
What is gas pressure, Highlander? No, it's all right. Give him a minute. They can Google
This is the question that made RC Meisty run yesterday.
Yeah, because it devastates the argument.
Yeah, give him a minute to Google it. He might just be playing along and Googling it. I don't mind.
He could just look at Chocolate's picture.
In the meantime, Paul, can you go to Skype and pull up the pic that I just put up?
Give me a second.
If you could, please.
How long's your interview with Robert Bassano?
Hopefully somewhere in the vicinity of an. I don't like to go over an hour, like you said, so I'm going to try to keep it there. But I'm going to remain a little flexible today.
It's live.
Yes.
Oh wow! I thought it was. Oh cool. Oh brilliant. Okay, we've got you up, Paul.
Did you check your Skype messages? Hold on a second, Paul. Did you look at your Skype messages?
Me? No, not since the show started.
No, I sent you a little message last night.
No, I don't think I've seen it. Sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead, Paul. Sorry.
It's actually chocolate. Go ahead, chocolate.
Yeah,
You know, you
I'm
can't
kind of
watch
wondering
Star
why
Trek.
NASA and the Glenn Research censor it.
Excellent timing.
Highlander, I watched the 100.
NASA says
And I still
there's
know
no
that
container.
the Earth is not what the heliocentric model says it is. And I love the show 100 from the CW.
Hang on,
Hold on.
Chocolate Babylon 5.
Hold on, Chocolate. You have to start
Hang
again.
on. Everyone's over talking each other.
Okay, go ahead, Chocolate.
No, I'm just pointing out that NASA itself, the same people who show us the second law of thermodynamics violation all the time, are the same people saying that apparently, according to this, gas takes the shape of its container. So I'm trying to wonder why they would tell people that if they're showing people something else completely different.
Would it be because
Highlander, anybody? Globers?
would it be because scientifically that's reality?
When you say NASA says that the gas will conform to the container, are they talking about a single gas, or are they talking about multiple gases in a dynamic system?
Doesn't matter. Makes no difference. Still needs a
It
container.
just says gas. It just says gas, Highlander. Do you think it would make a difference if it was a single gas or multiple gases? Do you think that would make a difference, Highlander?
Well, if it was a dynamic system like what we live on, and there's a pressure gradient going from whatever it is at sea level to almost zero at the top of the Earth's atmosphere, then yeah, you could have a vacuum next to it.
That's an affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy. If the sky is a vacuum, then you can have a gas pressure gradient leading up to the sky vacuum. That's an affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy based on your fundy belief in what the sky is.
Well, what's the affirming consequent formal logical fallacy?
If P,
If
then
P,
Q.
then Q, Q, therefore P.
Yeah.
If P, then drink yummy pee in my tummy.
So I kicked you
Oh,
out
God.
earlier because you had nothing
Here
to
we
offer.
go.
This guy's
You've got
full.
nothing to
That's
offer.
the
You've obviously
ballers
been let back
mentality.
in.
That's what you get from the ballers, folks. This is
I kicked him out because he had absolutely nothing to offer, and someone's let him back in, and all he's got to offer is to say if P in the formal logical fallacy known as affirming the consequent. That's P as in urinating. That's the best he's got to offer.
Robot voice.
Yep.
Can I ask
Did
Highlander
we get a
question? now?
definition of gas pressure yet?
Highlander, you there?
Not from a Glober.
Can I ask any global question quickly?
Well, we just want to get the definition. Highlander's had several minutes to Google it now.
Nathan, you're
you have
roboting. Really hard.
a freezer type effect on your mic.
Yeah,
So,
Nathan, we got some mic problems.
Okay. Can you hear me well enough to hear me asking Highlander if he's managed to get the definition of gas pressure yet?
You sound better now. You're good now.
I think he ran away.
No, he's still here. Might just be...
How long does it take a fucking baldtard to fucking look up a definition and present it to the fucking...
Have you not realized
Yeah,
they need
usually they
answers?
take the very first one.
Some things they will never answer.
The question
Yeah,
on the
but have you
table
not realized
is...
they always ask us to do the research for them?
The question on the table is, what's the definition of gas pressure? Why would it be so difficult to just read out the definition of gas pressure, I ask myself.
Probably because it
Well, I'm
destroys
helping
its
him out here.
whimsical
I've got it
claim.
up on the screen, by the way.
Oh, okay. Have a look, Paul. Is it got something
Well,
verbal?
we like you. We'll help you out.
So it says, NASA citation, gas pressure. Pressure force acts perpendicular to enclosing surfaces.
Now they're going to carry atmospheric pressure. Watch.
Yeah, that's appealing to their sky vacuum fundy belief. I can smash that in about 5 seconds. That's no worries.
Yeah, what does Atmo mean? What does Atmo mean?
Air.
So gas pressure.
Yeah.
Thanks.
What does enclosing surfaces mean?
Container.
Is that another way of saying container?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just a second.
So we've had one panel member who's managed to Google it. Highlander. We've had a long argument about this. I don't really understand why you're not answering us now. Is it because this destroys your fundamentalist religious belief and would lead you to have to challenge the they who are lying to you about your sky vacuum belief that you keep asserting with circular reasoning? Maybe that's why you're not coming off mute. Maybe that's why the show's getting
Give him time.
boycotted.
No, he's got it.
Cognitive dissonance might be kicking his ass right now.
Nathan, can I?
No disrespect, Highlander, because I like you, but yeah, he's gonna check back with the after show crew. That's what happens, and then grifters like myself and other third string party members are gonna have to be there to tell them what for, like usual.
I see. We've already run half an hour over, so with that, I'll
Nathan.
say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who tuned in on the Nathan Oakley premiering stream for hopefully smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. Be sure to check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Highlander, you there?
No, you won't speak anymore.
I know. I just want to ask him, make sure
Dude,
if he's gonna.
So this
Hang on,
question
hang on,
is
hang
that
on.
devastating, huh? Because yesterday I asked RC Majesty the same question, and he literally ran away right afterwards. Now we ask the same question to Highlander, and nowhere to be found. Isn't that adorable?
You know why, Chocolate, right?
Yeah, I know why. I just like pointing it out.
When we got through the argument yesterday about entropy, and I was like, F all this, let's just Google it. And so they read the first definition, and I was like, nah, son, read the second one right there. Silent.
Look, this argument is very strong against them, and Highlander held two positions at the same time. He is looking at the charts, and the one that you showed, Chocolate, it's obvious you need a container for gas pressure. He knows that. NASA knows that. It's their chart. But the reverse or inverse argument is just as strong. What is a vacuum, Highlander? What is a vacuum, Highlander? Have him explain what a vacuum is, and I will demonstrate the pseudoscience that they show us with the ISS. Oh, what is the ISS? A container with oxygen in it. What would happen if you didn't have that container in that vacuum of so-called space? Both ways, he loses.
Guys.
Real quick, Nathan, sorry.
Hey, I think
all right.
all you guys, real quick, I just want to say something, dude. This panel is so freaking talented, dude. And you guys spend so much time going over the same stuff with these globers and repeating yourself over and over and then getting upset. And it's like, you guys are some of the best flat earthers in the world, dude. And you guys are every day going over second law of thermodynamics with these fundies, bro. Every time I tune in, it's like you're talking about a non-rotating atmosphere above a stationary. It's the same fucking thing, Groundhog Day every day. We should be looking at what's really going on and analyzing flat earthers data and what we're coming up with. And these globers can go talk to themselves, guys. They're so fucking boring, dude. It's retarded. And you guys are way too talented. All of you guys on the panel, dude. You're all way too talented to repeat yourself 10 times to a fucking moron.
Nathan, you have to understand that surfers like this require they have to have ballers to survive, to exist. That's the only reason why they let them in.
Yeah, it just sucks
No.
hearing the same thing over and over again from some of the smartest guys I know.
The reason,
and I disagree with that. You're saying that the show survives because ballers can't keep their grubby hands off of the join button. Oh, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. They come here. We can have a conversation without them just fine.
Yeah, people would still come.
How is it going to be a flat Earth debate if there's no ballers defending the globe?
Well, they need some evidence, first of all. If they don't have any evidence, why
They
are
call
they
it
even debating?
They call it yesterday. They say they were boycotting. So why they
Yeah, I heard Zanuck say that. That was quite precious.
It's just
Yeah.
questions and fallacies, guys. That's all they do.
That's why I muted
Real quick,
him.
chocolate. Real quick, chocolate, before you get out of here, because I'm still curious as to if you saw Dude from Vsauce on the Joe Rogan podcast. I've been trying to ask you that for like a couple months.
Oh, Vsauce? He was on Joe Rogan?
Yeah,
What
the
you
guy
said?
from Vsauce. We had a conversation before, like the first or second day that I got on the show, and you was like, "Yo, check it out." And I was saying the dude doesn't sound anything. He's like that Greta Thunberg girl. It's like when she's scripted, she's on point. Probably get a tear out of you, not me, but then when you in an open forum and you're asking questions, it's like ask them. Like that's
Really?
him. He didn't have
I
anything
didn't
for
know
Joe Rogan.
Vsauce was on Joe Rogan. I'm gonna check that out because
Hey, did you guys
that
hear
should be
Eddie
pretty
Bravo
funny.
name drop me on Alex Jones?
Yeah, I heard that.
If Eddie can get me on Joe Rogan, I will make him look like the biggest globe clown anybody's ever seen. So, and I'm in the U.S., Joe's in the U.S., Eddie knows both of us. So maybe a couple days, the next couple days, we should say, hey, let's get Nate on Joe Rogan's show and have a debate about the shape of the earth. Because that bald toe will not go toe-to-toe with me. That's for sure, dude.
Well, we're going to have to put pressure on the internet because Joe Rogan's policy, like he's into politics right now. So whoever's pulling the strings behind his operation, they're not going to allow you on the show, just like they didn't allow Eric Dubé on the show. Granted, Eric Dubé, you guys are vastly different, but I don't think he's going to just have an open forum like that. Even though it looks nice and free, it's still a very controlled environment.
Joe Rogan continues to have people like Neil deGrasse Tyson and Mick West. These are the people that frequent Joe Rogan's podcast. So
I know,
he obviously doesn't really want a big flat earther or even a regular flat earther, except for Eddie Bravo, because that's his boy.
It'll never happen. His financiers are all Google and YouTube and stuff. I've looked at who supports his show. He's got the biggest podcast in the world, guys. So,
dude, 50,000 people are watching his podcast live. My jaw dropped when I ran across his shit, and I clicked it for 2 seconds, and I saw 50,000 people watching that shit live. I wanted to throw myself into traffic. Like, what the fuck?
No, and I'm not trying to discourage you from being on the show, Nathan. Absolutely not. I really want you on the show. What I'm saying is, in order for that to work, we have to go through the people. We have to apply pressure from the people to get you on that show. Because just going direct to the show and saying, I don't think it's going to happen like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But the only reason he said he would have,
if everyone started spamming his comments and spamming his YouTube, like, why won't you debate Nathan? Why won't you debate Nathan? Have Nathan on the show. Have Nathan on the show. And everyone was just pressing him 24/7 because who gives a shit about QAnon and Trump and all this stuff? It's all BS, dude. I want to make Joe look like a complete clown regarding the cartoon tilted cosmology he believes in, and then makes fun of flat earthers and tries to make us look stupid, dude. Shame on him, bro. And history is going to show that all these people that are in the media and that are in politics, they're traitors to humanity, dude. So it doesn't matter how big the house they live in or if everybody claps when they walk in the room. When all the dust settles, I know who's going to be the clown. Okay? It's going to be all those guys. With big
especially because he was one of those big moon landing killers.
One more quick point. One more quick point. This is regardless of whether you're a supporter of Bernie Sanders or not. Has anyone seen the fan ad that's going around with Bernie Sanders? And basically, the reason I love this ad is because it has everyone in the mainstream media. Ooh, he never smiles. Ooh, he's so rude. Ooh, he's a weird old white guy. He's so disheveled. And then they pan to all of his support, and there's like all of the actual stuff he's been doing. And it just shows you right there how far the media goes to try to deceive you. And that's just that doesn't just go for a presidential race. That's what they're doing 24/7 with everything that we speak about.
Well, dude, I know about the media firsthand because they talk about me and lie about me constantly to the point where I'll go to the experiment or the observation. I'll be doing an observation and then I'll watch their news report and it's opposite to what we saw. And we're going, what are you guys? It's just a joke, bro. It's a total circus. So that's why I was saying, dude, I just feel like spinning our wheels is such a waste of time. You guys are great, dude. I'm so honored to just be on the panel. Chocolate, QE, Paul, 10th Man, Nathan. You guys are rad, dude. Big fan, dude. I love you guys.
Nathan, what you got to look at it from a different viewpoint as well. You think we're wasting our time with these people, but what's happening is they are pressed against the wall for their proofs, and they have none. And they look so ridiculous. And you say, well, why are you spending time with that guy? He's already lost 10 times over. Yeah, give us another 10 times over and make it as epic as you can, because when a newbie or someone listens to it, they're going to get it even better.
Oh, they're going to go, wow, that guy got so destroyed, and he's supposed to be supporting this globe model that's backed by science. What is going on here? Yeah, so,
guys, can I get in for a quick shout out?
Well, he's not here. It's just the cognitive dissonance is what's always showing up on this show, and it's fantastic to watch. They just can't get out of it because they deny it. They have two thoughts at the same time.
True.
Can I shout out John Thor? I'm on mute.
Yeah, John Thor is doing God's work. I love his short videos.
Yeah, John Thor just uploaded a video especially dedicated to.
Wow. Yeah, Nathan, definitely check him out. Because he just kind of like clips together the best of Flat Earth. Like on any random day, you might hear your show on there, or this show on there, or anyone that has real damning evidence. He'll put it together in a nice video, and the music is good, like stuff like that. That's like his niche.
It's just now John Thor uploaded a video especially dedicated to flat earth debates. It's Anthony and Nathan explaining the scientific method from Ballbusters, I think. It's so good.
Hey guys, who's going to be at the conference in a month? Am I going to meet any of you guys in a month?
Where is this conference? Is it in the U.S.?
Dallas, November 11th and 12th. The website's fe2019.com, and it's all day, all night, the 11th and 12th. I'm the second speaker.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try, bro. I'm really gonna try to make that one.
My presentation's really good, guys. It's all animated. I've had a guy who does design for Keynote and stuff working on it for 3 years. Just serendipitously met with me in some random podunk town in Texas because his brother's an Uber driver who's flat smacking everyone. And I was flat smacking people at the grocery store. And one lady's like, oh, yeah, my Uber driver gave me a presentation on this. And I was like, are you joking? Who's doing presentations out here in Podunk, Texas? And I met with this guy, dude, and he's got all kinds of, he's got a free energy device that will blow your mind, bro. He's created an electromagnetic vortex around this device, and it's got dual output for the power. So you could circle the input power from the output, and it runs itself, dude. And it's insane. It literally blew my mind, blew Rob Skiba's mind, blew Chris Pontius's mind. And now we're all working on helping him with parts and stuff. It's freaking sick, dude. It's really sick. So.
Sounds interesting. Very interesting.
Mind blowing. Literally could scale up or scale down. So it could be put in your cell phone. You'd never have to charge your cell phone. Could be set up on the side of your house. And it's all just twisted copper wire, bro. So we're talking like less than $100 to make. And you disconnect from the telephone wires and the electrical grid. It's insane, dude. Insane. This is more important than the light bulb. Because every single electron...
man. When is the last time we invented something sick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been thinking about that. I'm like, why is the world stagnating? Because that's kind of when I got into flat Earth. It's kind of when I was bored with the world. I was like, oh, is there going to be some kind of new discovery in my lifetime? I hope so. I don't care if I'm 70. I want to see something new, because nothing new other than the internet has happened.
Dude,
Like, I want to see
years,
some new display.
Doing something new out there into end up just disappearing.
What was
that?
that?
So much nicer chat with you guys than arguing with ballers about freaking science. They don't know.
Yeah, well, they don't know what science is, do they?
Man. Yeah, I really like your group too. I'm in there most of the time on my downtime.
You know what I want to say, guys? Have you guys seen that I've grown an inch in the last 5 months, 4 months? This is pretty mind-blowing stuff, dude.
Yeah, but that's what's happening on Facebook, and that's what's happening on YouTube. Across the board, YouTube is doing something. Like, there are people, like, do you know how much Steven Crowder has grown in the last 2 years? Like, versus some other commentary that's grown like a couple of thousand views. And that's even worse for the flat earth movement. Like, everybody that I used to watch, they're pretty much stuck at the same numbers. And then you have somebody like Jake Paul, like, it's insane, man.
Or Fight the Flat Earth is almost at 20,000 subs now. And I'm like, dude, this guy is a clown. He never has good anything. I mean, he got one interview with George Muster, and that's all I've seen him do. I mean, I've confronted 5 NASA employees and have all those on my YouTube, and like they all went viral, and my count is pretty much the same as it was 6 months ago. You know, I don't know. It's just they are messing with something. I don't know. And the group, guys, when the group went on Netflix,
But how much of those subs do you think people actually real? I mean, don't you think they have a lot of fake subs as well, just to put the numbers?
What I was saying is they're altering the member counts and the algorithms so they lie about how many people are watching or interested.
I believe that.
I don't
Because
believe
check
that.
this out, guys. Here's the best proof right here. Our group has been growing for 3 years, up and to the right, up and to the right, up and to the right. We were on Netflix, and we had 500 or 1,000 member requests every day for weeks, and we haven't grown 1,000 people since the day we went on Netflix. We're still at 124,000 members, what we were months ago. But we went on Netflix, and the group blew up. I wouldn't be surprised if there's 250,000 or 500,000 people in the official Flat Earth and Globe discussion now, dude. I wouldn't be surprised. How mind-blowing is that, dude?
Yeah, your group is pretty damn big, bro.
I don't know about the manipulating Facebook statistics, but in terms of the YouTube numbers, live and the actual recorded views, I don't think they're meddling with that. What they can meddle with is the engagement, the promotion. They can limit that severely to stop new people coming. Yes, but that will show in the numbers. But in terms of the actual numbers that we do get, do I think that there's actually 1,000 people watching my show when it shows there's 250? No.
Probably not.
Well, don't leave, guys. I'm gonna find this video on YouTube, and I'm gonna share it, and it's gonna speak to exactly what we're talking about here, because something is definitely going on. And even though I don't like David Pakman, he did a good analysis on what happened to his videos after a certain I forget what date it is, but it's in the video, and it just shows how exactly what you're talking about, Nathan, how it just drops off. All of the new engagement just drops off, and it all goes to all the mainstream shit that they're plugging into everybody. It's like drops off from us and goes to that.
Yeah,
we got to do something about this, man.
Yeah. There's a solution. But there is a solution to that problem. So the problem is they no longer share our stuff, right? Well, the solution is share it. So I saw that drop off. It might not be a year ago, but probably knocking on for that. Yeah, I saw it in the stats. You're not bloody kidding. And I had to react to it. So I pushed the second channel, started asking people to promote each other and cross-promote each other and share videos and share on Facebook, added it to the intro. In other words, you have to adapt. You have to tell people to share the show at nausea, because if they don't, it'll die. So yeah, you've got to address it by telling people to share.
So,
You gotta do
And
your
sharing
own.
it
so here's
yourself.
what but here's what I think is going on with that, because I'm between Facebook and YouTube, and so I'll post a picture of myself or doing something random, and I could get 30 to 100 reactions, right? Anytime I speak about anything that's political in nature, flat earth, doesn't matter. If I share it, it gets zero. Like, even when I tag people that I know, well, I guess I should call them and be like, yo, did you see me tag you? But what I'm saying is, even though I share, the numbers go up depending on what I share. They're non-existent for stuff like flat earth and non-existent for stuff like politics. But if I share other goofy shit, it explodes.
No,
The algorithm hides it.
Yeah, and I don't know about
Hiding from
algorithms
the
hiding things. That's just people's engagement with tedious nonsense. People want mundane crap to engage with. So back when I was a rep, I was travelling all over the world. I was like bloody James Bond. And one day I'd send a picture out on Facebook when I was actually engaged with Facebook. Not that I do anymore, other than sharing these videos. I'd send out a picture of a mad hotel that I was in, like 7-star hotel. Look at this Lamborghini parked outside this 7-star hotel. Isn't this cool? It's only just come out today. And it would get 1 thumbs up. Then you get back from wherever you were in the world, you land on British soil, and you post a picture of your egg and bacon that following morning, that'll get 20 likes.
Yeah, but like I was saying, Nathan, today I was trying to share your schedule for the show, and I couldn't find it. It's like just non-existent.
Yeah, like I say, that's why I rely on people sticking it on Facebook and Twitter. That's why I say every single show. That changed to suggest people sharing it and sticking links in. I spend a lot of the time when the after shows go out, I'll be in the chat for the after show, spamming the link to somebody that we've talked about. We've talked about 2 or 3 different YouTubers on this stream. So I'd be in the chat going, here's the link to that YouTuber, here's the link to that YouTuber. Now I would hope that other people would do the same for me. If I get a mention, they stick a link in so people can come and subscribe. That's all it takes. But there's obviously at least 100,000 people interested in the subject, because you've got people like Jaren who've got over 100,000 subs. So there's plenty of people to come and subscribe. It's just, I'm not saying Jaren should be the one to divvy out his subs. That's just not possible. It doesn't work like that. But by the same token, everyone's got to cross-promote and cross-pollinate the people who are looking, because the new people aren't coming. So yeah, it just takes smashing the share button, or however I phrase it, over and over again.
Is there anyone here that I can pre-approve in the official Flat Earth and Globe discussion that can share Nathan's show every time he goes live, and so people in the group can see it every day?
I do a lot. I don't do it every time, but whenever Nathan's show comes on, I post it in about 7 different Facebook groups, plus Skype, plus
and yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
And it shows. It makes a mad difference, because when I look at the statistics pre-YouTube censorship, it would just show what I considered normal algorithmic search results for where people were coming to my videos. I kept a very close eye on it then. I still do now. And it would show people coming from Google. And you go, well, that figures. People coming from YouTube homepage. Well, that figures. Well, not anymore. Now it's from all the Facebook links and the embeds. That's where the show viewers are coming from Skype shares. That's what gets people its viewers. Previously, you type in Flat Earth, and if this show was live, it would be at the top of the list. And people go, oh, great, I'll go and watch that then. Not anymore. You've got to be joking. Now you get all of the ABC, BBC, CBS. That's what comes up first. No matter where you're broadcasting, or when you're broadcasting, or what you're broadcasting in this subject. So it's totally dependent on people sharing.
Yeah, check the Discord out. I posted that YouTube censorship link.
Is it the terms of service, the specifics where it mentions Flat Earth? Because if so, I've certainly read it plenty of times.
Guys, so YouTube deleted my email I've had for 14 years, and I can't get any of my Patreon money, and I've emailed them twice over the last 2 weeks, and no response from Patreon, dude.
No way.
Wonderful.
That's crazy. I mean, look what they did with you with those flyers a few months back. They even hacked into my account and started gallivanting as me.
Have you guys heard of number systems?
What?
Say again,
So
Nathan?
they've been signing up my phone number for these computer mass texts, and this morning alone, guys, in the last 30 minutes, I've gotten texts from the Coast Guard, the CFTC.gov, the EPA, Healthy Indoor Air, the U.S. Coast Guard again, Veterans Health, National Institute of Health. Like, they signed me up for all these number systems, and I can't even read the text. It's a bunch of code, and it just drowns out all my text, dude. I don't even know what to do. I blocked like 500 of these numbers, and they just keep coming in with new numbers. It's unreal.
Any phone number?
I know, but if they
Yeah.
get that phone number and sign it up for a bunch of number systems, like these globe trolls are insane, dude. And I have to have my phone number available for people like order flyers and do meetups and get details for events. Like, my number's out there, dude. It's just tough. And then they sign up my email for a bunch of gay website subscriptions and stuff. So like I'm constantly getting enrolled in newsletters. And like, dude, it's kind of funny actually. These guys have no life.
The problem is your numbers
Yeah,
all over.
that is hilarious.
Take advantage of that.
It's kind of nice. I don't have to go find the websites myself.
That's what happens when they have no arguments, Nathan. That's the problem.
So yeah, if anybody's interested, Michael Stevens on Joe Rogan, be like watching paint dry.
Any Globies on Discord have any arguments about anything? Like 40 people. In Discord.
They're
What's going
waiting
on?
for Nathan's icon to disappear.
They're waiting for Nathan to leave.
I swear to God. I swear to God they are.
But we're all right here. Let's talk. Let's talk about it.
They are.
Yeah, where's
They
the
are.
We're all here, guys.
Yesterday, when you left, Sanic and everything, okay, let's go, boys. We're up now. And they start talking, and yeah. I say, well, man, if you're not gonna engage with Nathan, I mean, I guess I'm not gonna engage with you. You know, I mean, we can play this game too, and we don't
I'm
need
here.
them.
Highlander?
Did you ever find the definition?
Yeah, did you find?
Yeah, well,
I think that was Highland.
Did you find the definition? How did you get on with that definition of gas pressure?
Uh-oh.
I'm almost sure that somebody sent him a message to stop engaging with you or something. I mean,
Yeah, I agree.
Why? Don't be a conspirator.
No.
yeah,
these
it's a little bit.
messages-
It's a little bit of a conspiracy,
right? These messages do happen, and I'm not even going to put anyone on blast because there are a lot of Globers I like. Whatever, sue me. So I'll be arguing back and forth in another server, and then they'll message me and say, yo, bro, chill out. It doesn't even, it's not worth it. They're not going to listen to you. I'm like, these are your Glober friends. So you agree with what I'm saying? Okay. But a lot of times I get like messages privately telling me to disengage. And I'm like, I'm here for it.
Wait. So you got Globers messaging you as you're engaging with other Globers. You have Globers telling you to not engage with those Globers.
Right,
That's pretty
because they're not
funny,
going to allow me to get
circumstance
my
right there.
point across. They'll be like, I see what you're saying, and it makes sense. I wish that you could really have the conversation, but these guys are not going to let you go. And it's true, they're not. They have a little.
That sounds like global.
System.
That sounds like global peer pressure.
The same system that they quote unquote think we use or that you guys use on the flat Earth debate. That's what they swear you guys use, but in actuality, that's what they do. That's the system they created.
What do they swear we use?
But
I kind of missed that.
What they say is that what we do is we kind of whenever they make a good point we troll them and obfuscate their point and all of everything that we would say that they do, they basically say that we do.
That's true. They just parrot.
Nathan,
They
do you want to
project.
know why Zanik never comes on anymore?
Flat, so you're coming in really, really crappy, bro. But I think I heard you. You said, do you want to know why Zanik doesn't come in anymore? Is that what you said?
Yeah, you told me yesterday.
Why not?
It's because we don't understand reference frames and we got to apologize to him.
Wait a minute. So Zanik is never going to come back.
Yeah. He says nothing leaves the reference frame, even if you throw it.
So we have no Coriolis then. Argument done. Goodbye, Zanik.
So we don't have to, so we no longer have to hear Zanik bump his fucking gums repeatedly. Correct?
What'd you say, bro? I didn't hear you.
So we no longer have to hear Zanik bump his fucking gums repeatedly, correct?
Apparently not.
Sweet.
Oh, he said he was never coming back, or what? He quit just last night?
I think I hear Righteous Force crying.
We apologized to him.
No. I mean, sometimes the show is abrasive. So I'll give them that. Sometimes, not abrasive for no good reason, but it is abrasive sometimes. Yeah. So Zanik did say he would come back on the show today, actually, if the pilot actually came back. So I was trying to get that to happen, but yeah.
His name's Mud, right? We already exposed him for parroting physics forums. That's why he's not coming back. So it's over for him. Good night.
He knows it too. So when he comes into the comment section and starts pretending like nothing's happened, spouting his rhetoric, my reaction to him is the same. It's been the same 2 or 3 times, and then he stopped commenting, which is, who's this information coming from? I want the name on the physics forum that you got this from before you start parroting it so I can challenge them. In other words, I want the organ grinder. You're a monkey.
Yep, he's finished. His name's Mud.
Can be Zanik, the forum guy.
Well, it's just excellent because we've got plenty of documented examples of him telling us how we don't understand these reference frames he now says we don't understand, shockingly. We've got plenty of examples of him then immediately going to a middle school physics forum to pose our challenging questions to them when he simultaneously tells us we don't understand. We don't understand so much that he needs to go to a middle school physics forum to post our questions to them. That's how much we don't understand.
You don't forum, bro.
You say something to me?
Talking to me?
Well, his issues, like his main argument is we don't understand reference frames. First of all, that's not even, we're talking about Coriolis. That's what we're talking about. And if you're going to sit here and explain to me how we're not seeing it, then that's the end. Like, that's the end of it right there. Like Chocolate said, then there's no Coriolis.
And if you want to break it down even more, we're not talking about Coriolis. We're talking about the cause of Coriolis. That's the argument.
Oh, I got all warm and fuzzy then, Chocolate. I got all warm and fuzzy when you said that.
Yep.
Yeah, Xanic actually messaged me on Discord because I posted that video about the ISS. I don't know if I saw it on Skype, and he decided to message me about, oh, do you want to learn what's wrong with this, Paul? I'll teach you. I just laughed. I just shook my head. It was hilarious.
What? Zanik thinks he corners the physics forums? I could go there. I don't need him.
Okay, well, I'm off. Cheers, guys. Watch yourself. Very great.
I remember, like, I don't know, it was last week or something when Zanik came in like I don't know, a hot meteor about to land in a pile of shit. And he's going off. I forget. I think we were talking about Coriolis, and you had a whole bunch of people in the after show and in the Discord chat like, "Ooh, here comes Zanuck, the Maverick." Ooh, like and it's like, okay, it didn't go that well yesterday though. And I'm just like, it's just insane to me that we're still here at 11:30. This is usually when these guys are like super active in here after the show. And where are you? Where are you? Are you like this? This has to be embarrassing. Like, so know that I'm gonna still be nice and cordial when I speak to you later, okay? But I'm going to be laughing. You should be embarrassed to have a conversation.
I can go and come back 5 minutes later if you want.
What should I be embarrassed about?
Yeah, go ahead, leave.
I
Nathan,
just told you. I mean,
but why male models? Have you guys seen Zoolander?
Worth a shot. I'll leave for a couple of minutes and then go back. Hey, the one, by the way. How you doing? Bye. Yeah, in case you hadn't read the Skype message, I intentionally didn't end the recording.
Hello. I just, instead of pressing the mute button, I hang up.
Cool. Good to have you.
Hey, guys.
So
I just wanted to shout out John Thor because he uploaded a great video of actually you, Nathan, and it starts with Anthony. He's speaking about scientific method, and then you go along and he put some music on there, and it's like so good. It's like dedicated to the flat earth debates.
John Thor, I'll have to thank him.
It's amazing. I posted in Master B.
What happened?
John Thor apparently made a video dedicated to me and Sleeping Warrior with a section of me on Globebusters and a section of Anthony doing an experiment.
It's from Ballbusters with the blanket. Kiwi mentions it's like a blanket.
Ballbusters, not Globebusters.
I'm still lost. John Thor? Who's that?
YouTuber.
Oh, I never heard of him. You posted it in Master B's?
Yeah, it's there.
Okay. All right.
Real time 1984 thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Cool. I'll check it out.
Like, you sound like some very famous person, Nathan, there with that music and like how the way you explain it. I think that will go into like the history books.
Oh, talking of feeling famous, right? Bear with me for this story, and then I'll go back in Discord. Hopefully, something will have happened between now and then. So, this is the third time yesterday this has happened. So the first time was a while back, but I didn't dedicate it to memory, so I can't quite remember what the stream was. I think it was like a book review live stream or something like that. But the second time I was in a board repair video. So nothing to do with Flat Earth. I'm trying to get away from Flat Earth, just, to unwind. You don't want to talk about the subject all the time, obviously. So I find something random. So this random stream was Apple MacBook board repair, component level, soldering and stuff. Most people won't be interested in that in this arena. It's so far removed from the subject, you'd think no one would ever, talk about Flat Earth in there. So I'm watching my streams, as I've been doing for a few months, and then somebody goes in there and recognises me. And before you know it, you're talking about space and it being fake, and the people who are making the video are like, are you watching what's going on in chat? And next thing you know, you're not as welcome as you were. You're no longer detached from your arena. You're bloody arguing about it in a board repair forum. Anyway, so then we go on to different subjects, and so it goes on. Yesterday, I was in a video by a guy called DVR, and he does telephone scamming. He catches the scammers trying to scam people and wastes their time for a good hour, and then just calls them a scammer after wasting a lot of their time. Again, totally devoid of anything related to Flat Earth. And I'm just chatting away, having a laugh about the scammer. And then somebody in the chat goes, "Oi, Nathan." I'm like, "Hello. How'd you have gas pressure without a container?" I'm like, "Oh, God, please don't get me banned from here. Look, I want to escape to this place. Don't get me banned." It's like suddenly I can go to totally random live streams and people know who I am. It's like, oh, this is a bit of a downside, isn't it?
Cool, man. Yeah, that's the 1,000 people that are actually.
Just so you guys know,
Oh God.
I'm going to reintroduce Discord now, so if you didn't like that rumpusing.
Because I said 5 words today, right?
Nah, Zanik just got here.
Zanik is off mute in
So I need to
Discord.
get ready for work.
Highlander, I'm just curious. Did someone direct message you and tell you not to speak a while ago?
No, nobody's messaged me. I think the last message I got in Discord was like 3 weeks ago. Yeah, so nobody messaged me, no.
You guys need to leave. Nathan's back.
Oh, hey Zanik, I heard you. What's up? We can hear you just fine on your mic. What's going on?
Not much, kid. What's up? What's up?
Oh, that nervous high pitch. Ooh, hit them notes. Hit them notes.
These are called nerves of steel.
That's so
Heard abs of steel. These are nerves of steel.
I got both of those.
I got some of them too, bro. So what's up, man? What are you guys doing?
Talk about your reference frames again, Zanik.
What's
love
up
it.
is the
People
container.
after a
Globers
year,
always show up.
people still think things leave reference frames.
Globers always
No,
show
we're
up
not
and
going to
ask me what's
engage
up.
with you now and retire ourselves. We've already had the conversation. You missed it. Sorry,
Oh, what
Zanik.
happened?
Go
What
back
happened?
into the
Hey, wait,
YouTube.
give me a high level.
Go to the live stream.
Elijah, tell me what happened. Give me a high level 10-second summary.
Your 10
You
seconds?
don't understand reference frames.
Really?
That's the real 5 seconds.
How is that? Give me a quick.
Hold on,
give me a
guys.
quick
Give me
overview.
5 seconds and then regurgitate for 5 minutes. Bullshit.
Give me a quick overview without Maddie jumping in and throwing us all over the place.
I'm still waiting for you to drag my ass down the road, bitch.
The quick overview is you don't understand Coriolis.
You're like a baby. You're like a baby pit bull. You're like a baby pit bull. It just grabs onto that friggin' sock and won't let go of it.
He denies Coriolis. It's
Meanwhile, I gave you the quick overview. Go ahead, Nathan.
He denies Coriolis. It's not that he doesn't understand. He denies that there is a Coriolis, but his spinning cartoon globe would necessitate a Coriolis.
Is that Zanik, the forum guy?
Just like gas pressure needs a container.
That's the same. Just like how they need to tell us that level means curved.
Why does gas?
You're wrong. All gases require a container except Earth's gases. You guys should know this by now.
Except
No,
Earth's gas.
why do gas pressures need a container? I'm just curious.
Earth special doesn't need.
Why did gas pressure need a container? I'm just curious. Why is that?
Because it was made up by pseudoscientists thousands of years ago. And it never made sense then and doesn't make sense now. And as soon as I get these quotes, because I've been talking about this shit for 2 weeks and I haven't had time, but as soon as I get these quotes, I would love to see you debunk these citations.
Okay, good. I'm just curious. Why do you think gas pressure needs a container?
Look up the definition.
I don't need to look at definition.
Okay.
This is pressure. Look up the word pressure. Look up the definition for pressure.
Yeah.
What's your definition of container then?
Force per unit area. Okay, good. You got that down. Great.
Area of what?
What's your definition?
Area of what?
Force per unit
Area
area.
of what, Zanik? Area of
You
what?
understand that gas
Area of
pressure
what?
can be scalar quantity.
Area of what,
And you
Zanik?
understand that space is supposedly expanding into infiniteness.
Let's try that again. Zanik's given his definition. I'd just like to know
this gas being. Go ahead.
what area of what, Zanik? Area of what? Let's just get it through once without Zanik talking through me. See if he can do it, the fundy idiot. Area of what, Zanik?
An object of its anything, any molecule.
Square inch of any molecule? That's what you think
Square inch
it's
of
measuring, is it?
anything. Square inch is area. You know what the definition of
Area of
area
what?
of anything.
Of anything?
Mm-hmm.
A chicken?
So when they say it's pounds per square inch of an area of anything.
It's a scale. I don't think you understand the difference between scalar and vector, do you?
Sorry, area of what? And you're saying area of anything. So if I want to calculate the pressure inside a balloon, I'll calculate the area inside my speaker, will I? Because it's the area of anything.
You understand? You need area to
area of what?
Quantify pressure.
Yeah, I know why you don't talk when I come here, because I hand you your own ass in the first sentence. Area of what?
You're already confused.
It's not area of anything now, is it, Zanik?
You're confused already.
I'm not confused. I'm asking a bloody question. That's not confusion. That's me asking you area of what? And you're saying area of anything. And I'm saying if I want to measure the pressure of the area in a, balloon? I'll go to my speaker and measure that area? Because according to you, it's the area of anything? No, that's stupid.
That's it.
So area of what?
Time to go back to your physics forms.
Area of what?
Area
of what is not area of anything.
Yeah, it's so funny how you can turn any definition into a shit show. Area.
You're a clown. You're a demonstrated clown. Your name's Mud. Why are you here?
Area. It's a size.
Of what? Size of what? Area of what? It's not area of anything. And every time I point this out, he continues talking. That's your only tactic with me. Either stick your head in the sand and don't address anything I say, or talk through my every demolition. So we still haven't got the area of what, and it's definitely not the area of anything.
Every object occupies area.
So it's the area of the object.
Space.
Would that include gas, Zanik?
So it's the square inch. So we're trying to get the square inch of what, and you're saying it's the area of the object. How does that relate to the gas pressure, the area of that object?
Well, gas pressure is a you can quantify it as a force that is spread over an area.
What area?
Pressure acts on objects, right? You understand this?
And what area are they measuring? The force over what area? Which specific area are we talking about?
What object are we talking about? You want to talk about your body, or are you talking about the ground?
No.
The air itself?
Are you asking a question? Am I going to get to answer it? I'd like to specifically know the area that the gas presses on where the sky vacuum starts, please.
So you're talking about atmospheric pressure or pressure on an object?
The area! What area does the sky vacuum have for the gas to press on?
Any object.
I'll ask again. We're talking about a specific area. It's going to have a per inch value, isn't it? Now, I want to know what the square inch area is of the sky vacuum. Oh, you're going to talk through me, are you, Fundy? You haven't defined the area.
Look,
now I am. Now I am. Yeah, Fundy. Yeah, bend over while I spank your little Fundy ass by asking the question again uninterrupted. Let's see how I get on. You've said we need an area, a per inch value. Yeah? Go on, get it all out, Zanik.
Area is square inches. Area can be looked
Yeah. Square inches. That's right, Fundy. Now I want to know what the square inch area that the gas presses on in the sky vacuum.
Any object.
Yeah, we're talking about gas, and to have pressure, it's going to press on an area. We've got that far. I've said what area very loud, very many times. Now we're talking about that specific area, this square inch value the gas is going to press on, and what that is in the sky vacuum.
The ground.
No. Are you a complete idiot? I didn't say ground. I said sky.
Of anything.
Sky.
On the ground.
You deaf? Sky, not ground.
Of anything.
Oi, dumbass. We're talking about your Fundy belief in a sky vacuum. I'm not talking about where I'm standing. I'm talking about the per inch value the gas is going to press upon in the sky.
It presses on the ground.
No. We know it presses on the ground. I'm asking about the sky. Third time.
Because the air has weight.
Third time. It's got a square inch value. You've made that clear. An area, an object that it's going to press on to give it pressure. That's you who's made that clear. Now I'm asking what it's pressing on in the sky.
The objects don't give it pressure. The ground gives it pressure.
No, a gas expands in all directions. I'm not asking about the ground. I'm asking about the sky.
Ball in the air. If I have a ball in the air, it has a.
I'm not asking about a ball in the air. I don't need a straw man. I need a per inch value in the sky.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do. To have pressure. You've made it clear. The pressure's going to be over an area measured in square inches. An object, you put it, for it to press on. Now, I want to know, given that gas is expanding in all directions, what the hell it's pressing on in the sky, where the vacuum is.
Itself.
No, it can't press on itself. It's expanding in all directions.
Yeah, you said in the sky. What is it pressing on?
Yeah, what's the surface area that you're going to give a per inch value to for it to press on to be gas pressure?
Slow down, Nathan.
Not slow down. You don't have anything for it to press on in the sky, Zanik. You've got a vacuum, a vast area for it to disperse into. So while you've made it clear that it needs a per inch value to press on, you don't have one.
You're confused again.
Not confused. Raping your sky vacuum religion. Definitely not confused. That's your only defence. The you don't understand defence is all you dicks have. No, I understand completely given your explanation here today. It needs a per inch value, a surface to press on, an object to give it pressure from your lips. And when we get to the sky and what per inch value it's got to press on there, where it's alleged to be a vacuum, you say the ground. When I'm not asking about the ground, I'm asking about the sky, where it's claimed to be a vacuum, an area for it to disperse into when it expands in all directions. What's the per inch value up there? There isn't one for it to give it gas pressure, therefore it isn't a sky vacuum.
I love when Zanik tries to play the fucking victim.
Well, you hear him talking all over me. What do you want from me, right?
What have you got? A square inch value for the sky? Or are you going to tell me about the ground and complain about me talking?
I laugh at you because you're so fucking stupid.
Oh, go on, swear at me. Oh, I love it. It makes me all wet and moist. Go on, get triggered, Zanik, you fundy. There's no square inch value as described by you for the gas to press on in the sky. Now, he's going to play victim, but he's talking all over me, isn't he? Yeah? You're talking over me, Fundy. You've got no square inch value for that gas to press on, and you made it clear that it's going to need a square inch value while you talk all over me again. Yeah, you don't have one in the sky, do you? That's why you referred to the ground. Because you haven't got a square inch value in the sky for that gas that's expanding in all directions to press on.
There doesn't have to be.
Yeah, there does. You made it very clear. In the I bit of the PSI, it's going to be a square inch value that gives you that measurement. You made it clear, Zanik.
Yes, but it's not.
Yes, you made it clear. Now tell me what that square inch value is in the sky. You don't have one. And if you don't have one, you don't have gas. And we do have gas. We just don't have a sky vacuum. Outer space is fake.
Hey. You don't.
Hey. Don't dare challenge my religion of a sky vacuum. Hey.
What does scalar mean, Nathan?
I couldn't give a crap. Gas expands in all directions. The sky is not a vacuum. Outer space is fake. You need a PSI value to have an I value. You need a square inch value, and you don't have one. You've got a sky vacuum and an endless space for the gas to expand into, and expand it would. We've got natural laws. In this instance, entropy. The gas would fill the space. The fact that we have gas means that we don't have that space for it to fill, because it'd be filling it.
You don't understand entropy.
You don't understand. The last refuge. You don't understand. You don't understand.
I could have bet
pressure.
money you would have said that. Are you kidding, bro? Zanny, come on, man. You got to have something more than you don't understand.
Every time I come here, he becomes more and more confused.
Oh, yeah, we've just demolished that I don't understand argument. That's absolute horseshit. I do understand. You've not addressed a single point I've raised. I've raised that gas expands in all directions. You, personally, have explained the I in PSI, a square inch for it to press on. And when I got to the sky vacuum, you started talking about the ground. Bearing in mind it's expanding in all directions, there's been no rebuttal. Just bleating that I don't understand.
Because you're making an incorrect assumption. It doesn't expand in all directions.
Yeah, it does. That is a guess and what it does. Did you not see the NASA reference we put on screen? Was it head in the sand time when NASA explained about the force being perpendicular to the adjacent walls of the container? That's the demolition of your sky vacuum religion.
The reactive force. Hold on. You forgot one critical force, the force of its weight. Air has weight.
It doesn't matter how much it weighs, it's expanding in all directions. You show me a puddle of air.
That's what gives you the weight. You understand?
No, gas expands in all directions. Entropy doesn't just stop because you assign weight to it.
Entropy. Oh, Nathan, really? You're going to bring up entropy, something you have no clue of?
Entropy. I have absolutely a firm handle on what entropy is.
You have absolutely zero clue.
Yeah, it's just the constant assertion of the you don't understand argument. Yes, I do understand entropy.
It's not what you think it means, Nathan.
Oh, is it not? I'd like to know the physics forum you've got your explanation of entropy from. Tell me the man who told you, so I can go and grill him. Because none of these arguments have come from you, Zanuck. They've come from a middle school physics forum. While you claim we don't understand, you simultaneously toddle off on the very same day as we pose these troubling questions to middle school physics forums to ask them our questions that you claim we don't understand the premise of.
Part of it. Why don't you tell me what entropy is?
Yeah, the gas would fill the space.
Here's the entropy expert.
Yeah, the gas would fill the space.
Hold on.
You're brighter than that.
Hold on. I can get it. Let me get the definition for entropy again for you today. Hold on. Give me about 30 seconds.
Yeah. Go look at it. Go find it in Webster's.
Sorry, which physics forum individual gave you your definition of entropy to claim that I don't understand? I'd like to know who it was that educated you from the high school physics forum.
My physics instructor many years ago told me.
No. The people who you are going to directly with the questions we are posing that you claim we don't understand the premises of, I want to know who's giving you those answers for this question. Because on example, you have gone directly to middle school physics forums to ask the troubling questions we pose, and you claim we don't understand the premises for.
Entropy is the amount of...
No! Which middle school forum individual gave you this information? Not the information. Who gave it you from the middle school forum?
The system that...
You're not listening to the question. The question is, who on the middle school forum gave you this information?
That second law of thermodynamics.
Hold on, Nathan. Can I throw? Let me throw this definition out there. Entropy is a measure of the energy dispersal in the system. We see evidence that the universe tends towards highest entropy many places in our lives. A campfire is an example of entropy. The solid wood burns and becomes ash, smoke, and gases, all of which spread energy outwards more easily than the solid fuel. Outwards, in all directions, not outwards to the ground.
What does entropy mean, Elijah? So when I have a
I already explained it to you. I explained it to you. I explained it to you with my soup. I explained it to you with my soup. Don't act like you don't remember.
What happens when you have energy that's in a system that has been used to do work? What happens to that energy? Does it go up or down?
Entropy increases. In the case of gas pressure, the gas would fill the space. The system that is available to it is outer space in your fundy belief of a sky vacuum, and the gas would fill the space. Entropy would increase, and the gas we breathe would instantaneously fill the volume available to it.
No, that's not what it means.
Yes, that is pretty much verbatim the description from an MIT professor.
It just fills the volume. No.
That is pretty much verbatim the description from an MIT professor describing the second law of thermodynamics.
You don't understand what you're reading.
No, I'll say it a third time. That was not my description. It was basically a pretty much verbatim rendition of the description from an MIT professor describing entropy.
But you're not even able to understand what you're...
Not me! Why do you keep doing this? The fundies have got so ingrained with the you don't understand argument that when it's not my argument, they still say you don't understand.
Available to do work in a system. When it goes up, the energy goes down that can do work. That's what it means.
Yeah, until it fills the available volume.
And how does that help your argument,
Yeah,
Danik?
it doesn't. It would fill the work would be the work it does to fill the available volume. Now, in your case, it's not filling the available volume. The work is being ceased for apparently no reason whatsoever. It's not getting an opportunity for entropy to increase. Apparently, it just stops and a vacuum starts.
No, it's progressive.
If entropy has nothing to do with a container, why does my soup stay hot in a what do you call those things? A thermos.
Doesn't.
Thermos. Why does that happen? Because of what?
Doesn't.
Why
Heat
does it
still
stay
transfers
hot?
in a thermos.
Yeah, if it has nothing to do, with the container, then explain to me why the soup in the thermos stays hotter than if you would have it in a bowl, an open container.
So now you're
Because the
talking
entropy will increase on that
now you're
bowl of
talking
soup.
about the kind of system you have. Are you talking about only the thermos, or are you talking about the?
I'm asking you why. I'm asking if you. Okay, let me answer your question. You just said that a container has nothing to do with entropy. Okay, no, listen. You just said that containers have nothing to do with entropy. So my question to you then, is, so then what's your argument?
I said,
What's your argument?
It doesn't
What
have
did
to
you
be
say?
high pressure. It doesn't specifically talk about high pressure moving to low pressure. It talks about energy.
Tell me why there's a difference. Tell me why there's a difference in energy when I have a difference between open container and closed. Why is there a difference in energy?
Because the energy is able to move from high to low states. All right, that's why, and that's second law of thermodynamics, by the way. And
so the low state of the sky vacuum would be where the high state of the pressure would want to move to then.
Right,
that's the energy
that's what I heard.
Move. So the gas would fill the space.
Entropy is the usable energy in the system that can do work going down with time.
Yeah. So as the pressure decreases into the volume and the gaps between it increase, the energy goes down. Entropy increases as it fills the available volume. And in the case of space, that would be the available volume. The only problem being your fundy rhetoric of a skyrock in a vacuum, the gas doesn't fill the available volume. It violates the second law of thermodynamics.
Why should I engage in this dialogue if you're not going to let me speak?
What are you talking about? I'm summarising the fact that the high pressure doesn't go to the low pressure in your fundy belief of a sky vacuum and a sphere Earth. It's a violation of the second law of thermodynamics. The gas isn't filling the available volume. Entropy isn't increasing. It's not filling the space according to your sky vacuum belief.
Really? So you forgot about
air having weight. Thermos an open system.
You forgot about air having weight. Is
really? Gas expansion into a vacuum, mixing of ideal gases or liquids, diffusion, effusion, colligative effects, and
Yeah, I never-
osmosis each fundamentally involves an increase in entropy due to increased dispersion of energy with no change in total energy in the case of ideal substances due to a greater number of microstates for the particular system involved. You are done. Zero.
You're done. That's
You have
told
nothing.
us the energy didn't change, but the
You have
usable
nothing.
energy
You
did
are
change.
mud. You
The
have nothing.
usable
Go back to
energy
your
in
high
that-
school physics forums because you have nothing to say to that. Nothing.
Through
Go
all
away.
those processes. That doesn't
You're a
mean
clown.
entropy means those processes.
You're a
It
crayon
doesn't
munching
mean that. It means
clown.
that the energy in that
Period.
system
End of
goes
story.
down.
Thanks.
You get it? There's a difference. All those processes are true, but that's not what entropy is. Entropy is in those processes that the energy that can do work goes down with time.
Yeah, so
Your
that
sister
process.
increases in entropy. Okay? Get out of here, you clown. Go back to your
Zanuck,
high school physics forum.
how does that energy go down? Does it disperse,
You
Zanuck?
have no idea what the word even means. You don't even know what it means.
Here we do. The energy goes down as it disperses. Entropy increase is described in that fact.
How it works.
The great
But I
entropy
just
generator,
explained
right?
to you. You
No,
just
it's
said
not.
you said that we don't understand what entropy is, and I gave you an example of entropy. And then I said, why is there a difference between an open container and a closed container if it doesn't have any difference?
You're talking about two different systems. The container is definitely part of systems, right?
Zanuck, is a closed thermos an open system?
Go ahead, do the George. Do it.
The closed
the Earth
a
open or
thermos
closed
is a
system?
Hold on, Paul. Go ahead, Sonny.
A thermos is a closed system. Let's be
Can
clear
you
about
say that without stuttering, please?
Well, actually, you did better than George.
A thermos is a closed system. Why? Because it only can exchange energy, not matter. Okay?
And can an open system? Hold on.
Will the temperature? Hold on.
Hold on,
What does
so-
the entropy do in the thermos?
So is a open thermos exchanging matter as well as energy?
Not open is matter as well as
Yeah,
energy.
yeah. So if
Closed
it's an
is
open
only-
system, it
only
can
energy.
exchange matter.
Closed is only energy.
Yeah, and open can exchange matter like gas.
Correct.
So
yes.
gas can exchange
So when
if it's open.
So when you have a thermos, and
So
it's-
gas can exchange if the system is open, correct?
Yes.
So the gas in the open claimed to be system of Earth would fill the available volume. And the available volume for it to fill would be space. Outer space. Acclaimed to be vacuum. But it doesn't do that. It violates the second law of thermodynamics. It being the heliocentric globe Earth in a vacuum, which it can't possibly be. If it was, we wouldn't have this natural law anymore.
What natural law is this, Nathan?
The second law of thermodynamics.
If you have an open container, what?
The gas would fill the available volume. And in the claim of a globe Earth, the gas, which we breathe, would fill the available volume. And the available volume for it to fill is all of outer space. It doesn't do that. Therefore, the sky is not a vacuum.
It is a vacuum.
No, that's just your fundy belief with a violation of a natural law attached.
For you to get a grasp of it,
Science deniers.
Science deniers.
Have him define vacuum. Have him define vacuum.
Gravity doesn't help you for the person who threw that in there. Gravity doesn't help.
Pressure creates a vacuum.
Do you need
There's low
a
vacuum and there's high
container for a
vacuum. We're talking about high vacuum at the surface.
Do you
going
need
down
a container
progressively as you
for
go
a vacuum?
There's a pressure gradient. There's a pressure
You need a
gradient as you go up.
container
It's due
for
to
a
the weight of the
vacuum,
air.
clown.
The weight of the air.
Mr. Physics Forms, do you need a container for a vacuum?
You need a container for a vacuum? No.
Really?
Correct. I can create a vacuum with a
Plum
magnetron and
So
no
at
container at all.
Plumbrook, shut up.
An ionized
So
gas.
at Plumbrook, Ohio,
Hold on, Quantum Eraser. Hold on. He said, hold
so
on.
I can have a vacuum in my car.
I'm trying to side with you here, Zanuck. So you said you can have...
on a bottom
Yeah, you won't shut up.
In the air.
You just simply will not shut up. So you claim you can have a vacuum
you don't understand these terms.
You're not letting me talk, Zanuck. Is it your fun? Are you triggered? Is this troubling?
I'm not triggered. I just
Well, then shut
like
up.
the science.
Let me get a sentence in.
So you guys
Do you want to let me get a sentence in? You're going to let me get a sentence in. Are you going to rumpus every word? You're going to rumpus every word? Can I talk?
Are you
going to talk uninterrupted? Or are you going to continually interrupt even now when I'm asking if I can talk uninterrupted? So you claim...
If I can talk, you can talk.
I've got your claim. I'm trying to reassert it. You just won't let me.
He's trying to answer.
I'm trying to make his claim clear. So you asserted you can have a vacuum in a magnetron. Is that correct?
Correct.
Is a magnetron a container?
Yes.
So that would be in a container then, you complete clown!
You don't need a container.
Sorry, let me get this crystal clear from this complete idiot. We have asked for a vacuum without a container. He said, I can create one in a magnetron. And I ask if a magnetron is a container. And he says, yes. A magnetron is a container. Are you stupid?
Yes, he is.
Zanuck, are you stupid? Don't laugh at me. Are you stupid? We asked for a vacuum without a container, and my first question to you is a magnetron a container? And the answer is yes. Are you stupid?
Container between the high pressure and the low pressure.
Are you stupid? It's a container.
It's in a container.
So it's a container then? You complete idiot.
Yeah, you know, in
That
a way
would
you
make
are.
it
Actually,
contained, right, Zanuck?
So it's contained in a container. So it's not a example of a vacuum without a container. It's a vacuum inside a container then.
My turn to talk. It's my turn now, okay? Not my
What? To be absolutely idiotic? You were asked if you can have a vacuum without a container, and you said in a magnetron. My first question, is a magnetron a container? The answer, yes. A magnetron is a container. You are fundamentally stupid.
Also is like
talk,
the weight of the air. The weight of the air is basically in a force field as well.
Sorry, let him talk, I heard, from the Discord rumpusing. Let him talk about what? Air?
Hold on a second. He said that we can't have there. You don't need a container in a vacuum. The Plumbrook station in Sandusky, Ohio has a 10 to the negative 6 torque capability vacuum. It needs an aluminum chamber encased by 8 feet of reinforced concrete. The doors are 5 million pounds each and must be driven into place. So I want you to go to Plumbrook Station and tell them to tear those walls down. You don't need that container. You, sir, are...
You are confused even more than I thought you were.
You are
that is something to support 14 psi in a large scale. So when you start talking about 14 psi on a 10-foot square of that container, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of pounds, right? Because of 14 psi.
You're a moron.
PSI. So if you go up to Mount Everest and you have 3 to 5 psi compared to 14 psi, why is there that differential pressure? Why is it go from 14.7 to 0.16?
All he wants to do is rumpus the crap out you with the pressure gradient, straw man. Delta X. So we're asking where you get the pressure from. He's already defined. He's even used the terminology. He's just said, oh, that's a huge PSI. What? Per inch of the container? Yeah? So he's using this terminology that requires a unit area for the gas to press upon, and yet he's going to simultaneously assert that he's got a gradient with the same gas pressure that needs a per inch value to press on, and he's going to ask us why we've got a gradient. Like that somehow proves his fundy belief in a sky vacuum. that doesn't have a PSI value because it doesn't have the I. It doesn't have a square inch to press on.
It doesn't need it.
Yeah, it does. By your definition, the I in PSI is a square inch value for it to press on. Where are you going to get an I value from? In your sky vacuum? What, you just don't need one now? Special pleading when it comes to his fundy sky vacuum. Suddenly we don't need an I in PSI?
He's so enamored with the big Florida vacuum chamber that needs all this cement to hold out 14
Not in Florida,
PSI.
it's in Sandusky, Ohio, you clown. You're a clown.
Look, you don't understand
it's called
pressure.
Plumbrook
You don't understand
Station.
pressure. You're simply
Plum
confused.
Brook Station.
Sorry, there it is again. There it is again. You don't understand gas pressure. The last hurrah of the losing fundy. So the assertion is we don't understand gas pressure. No, we've spent weeks, if not months, if not years, describing just that. We do understand it. What we don't do, Zanik, is go to middle school forums with your questions posed to us.
That's what gives it the pressure. 14 PSI at the ground and near zero at 100,000 feet. There is a differential pressure, a progressive pressure, a pressure gradient as you go up. The only thing causing it is the weight of the air.
Oh, shit, you clown.
That is what gives you the pressure.
Clown.
No, it isn't. What's the... Okay, you said PSI. Let's break that down. What are those three letters? What do they mean?
What's causing it is the gases being produced and given its energy by the sun.
No, it's not an
and
energy.
all of this extra. You can't just say weight because weight doesn't address how to get. You can't use a scale on the floor to weigh pressure.
It's not a vector. It's not a vector force, Elijah. It's a scalar force. Don't you understand the difference? I tried to speak to you at the beginning. You don't
You're
get
a
it.
Dunning-Kruger physics form clown. That's what
Force.
you
It
are.
acts in
You're
all
busted.
directions.
You're an idiot.
You can quantify it as a scalar force, not a vector force. Vector forces are the
what's
weight.
your vector?
What are you saying? Scalar force.
Roger,
what is this? Explain this to the explain this to the people. I don't want. If your argument is gonna be demolished, I want to hear it heard. So explain to us what a scalar force.
You're the first one.
If or not, I'm giving you a chance.
Intelligence. Finally, that's the measure of true intelligence. Willing to ask a question.
And tie it to the earth too.
Good one.
And tie it to the earth afterwards. Go ahead.
So scalar is not a vector force. It's a force that you quantify it as being all around you in all directions. It's no vector. There's no direction to that force. That's what scalar means. That's what you have with air pressure. Now you can have pressure acting on something, right? If you have a pressure of me pushing on you, that would be a vector force, pressure pounds per square inch acting on you. But air pressure is a scalar quantity. It is around you in all directions. And that's caused by the weight of the air above you pressing down on the ground.
Demonstrated
so that's
already.
Where the difference between vector and scalar comes. What's that?
Bye-bye, lard ass.
Yeah. So when you guys start talking about air pressure, you have the weight of the air going down. All right, it has a vector going down, but its value in air pressure is scalar. It's all around. So if I put my hand out, the pressure acting on every square inch of my hand as I stick it out of a window, that's the pressure. That's the scalar value acting on our bodies, on your hand, on the ground, everywhere.
What's it pressing on in the sky?
Measure that.
What's it pressing on in the sky? What's it pressing on in the sky? It's pressing everywhere. He won't let me ask the question now. Of course, he'll just rumpus the shit out of me. What's it pressing on in the sky?
More pressure as you go down.
What's it pressing on in the sky?
What was that question?
What's it pressing on in the sky?
Nothing. Down. It's pressing down on itself.
No, you just said it's pressing in all directions. Which is precisely what gas does. It expands in all directions. Now I want to know what it's pressing on.
An area of nothing. Wait a second. He just said it's pressing on nothing. Didn't he just say before that it has to press on an area?
Yeah, he said it has to press on an area.
The scalar value is the 14.7 in all directions.
I don't care about your
right?
scalar value. You just said it presses on nothing now. Why are you changing your story?
Let me put it in.
Let me put it in a way.
Let me put it in a way.
Yeah, it's just changed his story. He's gone from it being a pressure on a surface area measured in PSI per inches, like he did the first time round this merry dance circle jerk, and now he's saying it doesn't need to press on anything in the sky. So which is it?
What he said.
Which is it? It needs to press on an area given an I value, or it can press on nothing. Which one is it, Zanik?
So Zanik, when you stick your hand outside, hold on. When you stick your hand outside, hold on. When you stick your hand outside, Zanik, right? When there's pressure all around your hand, is it also pressing on your palm if your palm is facing the ground? Because why would it be pressing up as well?
Nathan, who is that?
I don't know. He won't shut up. They never do.
It's like when you go down.
There's another guy trying to talk, but he won't shut up. He'll carry on talking regardless of me talking as well.
Yeah.
No matter how you orient your head underwater, your ears will compress and feel like they're right. Okay. So
okay. Why are we talking about water?
Air has weight, and also air has pressure.
I can't shut him up. Zanik will never shut up. He'll never shut up. And as soon as he does, someone else in the Discord server will just chime in. He's literally been trained to never shut up, ever. And while you're replying, he'll talk. While you're trying to summarize his point, he'll talk. He'll never shut up.
Zanik, answer Nathan's question. Can you please state your question to him very slowly?
Zanik, you explained that it needs to press on a per inch value. Then you simultaneously said that in the sky it doesn't need to press on anything. So which one is it?
It doesn't have to press on anything.
Yeah, you also said it needs to press on a PSI. It needs a PSI value, a per inch value to press on. That's two contradictory positions. Which one is it?
That's the pressure.
That's not answering my question. I'm asking, is it not necessary to press on anything as you asserted about in the sky? Or is it requiring a per inch value to press on? Which one is it?
Wait. Air also has weight, which is vector.
It's just ignoring me. It's ignoring me completely.
I can have pressure.
You're ignoring me.
ISS or in space and not have a vector
asshole.
Down. It will not have
Zanik.
Air will not have a weight
Zanik.
in space.
Right, I'll tell you what I'll do. Because he won't shut up. What I'm going to now do, because he will never shut up, he won't let anybody have a mild discourse with him. Even now, while I'm talking, he will not shut his mouth. Now this Slayer guy's decided to top in as well. Slayer, I'm trying to get control of this asshole and you're not helping. So Zanik, why is it that you're holding two positions simultaneously? It either needs a PSI value or resistance to force. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the globe head trick because I'm in the middle of asking him a question and he started talking mid-question. So what I'm going to now do, and I'm going to let the audience see me do it, Zanik, I'm going to turn you right down so that you can't do what you're doing anymore. You're not going to be able to interrupt me. Yeah.
Turn me off. I'm going away, by the way.
Yeah, I'll turn you right down because you're not shutting up to let anybody have a conversation with you. You're talking continually. So I'll turn you up when I've finished asking my question. The fact that you'll be talking through me just means that you're not listening. So I want to know why you're simultaneously holding two positions at exactly the same time. One position being that you don't need to press on anything in the sky, and the other that you need a PSI value, a per inch, to press on.
Yep. So you have the PSI value, which is pounds per square inch. That's on the ground. That is a vector force caused by its weight, the air's weight. The scalar value is the pressure all around you, the energy per unit pressure of air. There's two different properties of air. You don't have to have
You're not
weight.
answering the question. Oh my God. You're not answering the question.
He's just said, what's the question? Simple. So Zanik, let him repeat the question on my behalf as you've asked him what the question is.
Okay. He said at the beginning of this that to have gas pressure, you need an area for it to press on. Then he said just 2 minutes ago that it's pressing on nothing. That means you're holding two mutually exclusive truths at the same time, right? That's the violation of the law of non-contradiction.
He's not letting you. He's not letting you. Unless he's on mute, he's not letting you ask the question.
Put me on mute and I'm gonna...
Okay. I put you on mute so I can ask the question again. You said in the beginning that to have gas pressure, you needed area. That means some type of per square inch value for it to press on. 2 minutes ago, Nathan asked you, what is it pressing on? And you said it doesn't need to press on anything. That means you have holding two mutually exclusive truths at the same time. That violates the law of non-contradiction. Please answer. Which one is it? Thank you.
Okay, so you cherry-picked my words back a few minutes ago. The answer is the pounds per square inch, the pressure is acting on a surface, which is the ground. That's where the surface creates the pressure from the weight of the air above it. So in the air, you don't need anything for it to press on because the pressure is created by the weight of the air acting on the ground. Its square area, its surface area creates the force on the air molecules above it, and it's progressively going down as you go up. So in that area, without a container, you have pressure
down as it goes up. That makes no sense.
Let me finish.
No, you have,
So
you
it's
have
pulling
air.
it down.
What's the objection? What's the objection?
He said it's going down as it's going up. What the hell does that mean?
Say that.
So let
As
me
you go up,
address
the
this
pressure
real
goes
quick.
down.
Real quick.
As you go
Quantum
down.
Eraser.
I'll listen to you, Elijah.
So do you know, Zanuck?
Elijah,
Do you
Elijah,
know,
let me tell you
Zanuck, that
something.
you've cleverly?
Elijah,
And I don't think.
Elijah, I'll let you tell me what you want me to do, by the way. Okay? Elijah, I'll listen to you. Go ahead. Elijah, go ahead.
You didn't shut up. You told him to go ahead,
Okay,
and then you
what
said
I'm-
go
what
ahead
I'm
again.
Here
You still didn't answer
it's-
the question.
No, my mic is coming in a little late. Here's what's funny about your argument. When you're basically talking about how the pressure is coming from the weight, therefore, if I have a helium balloon, it's basically just gonna push it to the top. Guess whose argument that is? That's Anthony's argument about density. Doesn't it sound really familiar?
No, because you can actually have the right ideas or right observations and not understand the cause. The cause of the helium balloon going up is density. There's nothing wrong with the densities, density differential being an issue or a cause here. It's
not stutter.
because
No,
the weight
the
of
cause
the air
and the effect,
around
actually.
the weight of the air around that balloon is heavier, has more weight than the balloon itself, so it is pushed
Oh
upward.
shit.
Yeah, thank you for making the case for relative density, but
Yeah.
No,
And
there's
that's not
nothing wrong with
typical
relative
gas
density. You have
behavior.
to understand the cause
What
of
is
why
typical
things move
gas
up or
behavior?
down. If it's
Yeah, it's
denser,
definitely not
Okay, let me
relative
shut
same
him up.
volume.
Yeah, let me shut you up. You need to define gas behavior. How do gases behave? Go.
You're not listening when you're talking, by the way. You're not listening when you're talking. The helium balloon is pushed up. You're buoyant.
Shut the fuck up. Tired of his nonsense. He's taking away my quality time. We had enough of him. Any other
Why does he
ballers?
study whenever he
Share
tries to
your
address the
pain.
question?
Second. Say again, over.
Why does he stutter every time he tries to address a question?
Because he's
There's nothing
retarded.
wrong with
So,
stuttering.
any other ballers on the panel? Since you're taking
Was
my
that a good
quality time,
equivocation, by the
this is my quality time now. So, ballers, share your pain. Let's see how many ballers we got in here. We have we have the blind
like to share your
sniper.
pain?
Go on.
Would you like to share your pain with that rail gun since you're calling me the blind sniper?
There he is. I love it. Go on.
Would you like to share your pain with your rail gun since you're calling me the blind sniper and not believing in bullet drop?
Yeah. You think it's an indirect fire weapon, don't you friggin' clown?
So why don't you go ahead and share your pain about it? You call me the blind sniper
I don't
because
have
you
any
don't
pain
believe in
about
bullet drop, but yet the
You
rail
think it's
gun
an
goes through
indirect
bullet
fire
drop.
weapon. Basically, you think a rifle is an indirect fire weapon. You got to be some type of special moron.
Any projectile is going to go through bullet drop.
I didn't talk about bullet drop, you friggin' clown. You think it's an indirect fire weapon. The damn rail gun kills
But
by
you think it's a
kinetic
line of
energy.
sight? You think
Still
it's a line of
fired
sight
up
at
in
that
the air.
distance?
It has no explosives. You friggin' dunce.
It doesn't need explosive, you dummy.
Oh, so they're going to be real scared on the end of that, right? All 25 pounds hunk of metal going to come down, no explosive, right? You friggin' dumbass.
It doesn't. All of that doesn't matter when it comes to bullet drop. Any projectile is going to suffer
We ain't
bullet drop.
talking about bullet
And
drop.
you call me the blind sniper because you don't believe in bullet drop.
Shut the fuck up, you blind fucking sniper.
You're not about to say that quantum erasure doesn't believe things go down. You can disguise it as bullets don't drop, but okay, they go down. So what? The bullet is heavier than the medium it's traveling in. Eventually,
you're missing
it. This is the reason they call me the blind sniper.
So
they
what,
call me the blind
what's the
sniper
point?
because they don't believe in bullet drop.
But you didn't address the point.
Shut the hell up. This has nothing to do with bullet drop. They think that the railgun is an indirect fire weapon, like an artillery piece, when the railgun kills by kinetic energy. If you fire it in a lofting trajectory, it's going to lose all of its kinetic energy. You dumbass.
Still gonna go through. It's still gonna go through bullet drop. Why did you call me the blind sniper? Because I told you.
Fucking shut up. We're not talking about bullet drop. Anyone else? Who do we got in here?
What about?
Since you're taking my quality time, speak up.
They'll speak up after you guys leave again. Guaranteed.
Oh,
I'd lay fucking my.
We had some people take off. They just took off.
It was less than 30 seconds. The moment you said that you said Nathan was gone, everybody just started to filter in. That made my day.
Hey John, I had a question.
It's there.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's just related to Trish Blythe because you were like pretty raving on her about, and like, what did she do to you specifically for you to go like that? Because I know she's been clowning around and everywhere, but
sure, I'll explain it. Well, for the past 2 weeks or so, I've been noticing in chats her making some how would you say, backhanded slight comments to everyone on the flat earth debate. You know, I just blew it off. Hold on, I'm not done yet.
Okay, sorry.
So I just blew that off, you know, as typical behavior. And then 2 days ago, I was looking at the chat, which I don't usually do, by the way, in Nathan's video on one of his shows, and she was sucking up to her boyfriend Toady and saying how, oh, she loved his performance with his presentation on moon bounces, and yeah, that Arwen was scared to go to his radio club to answer their claims, and I lost it.
What?
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't even catch that one.
Yeah, you could go back in the show and look at the chat. So I told her, I said, the day that I seen that, I said, go ahead and bring your clown show demonstrated liar, retard toady boyfriend on, and you two can explain the moon bounce. So
she must have been licking him.
Yeah, and she didn't
I don't
do
understand
that.
how you could be that stupid.
And she didn't do that. I seen her in the chat, right, doing her same little routine again. So that pissed me off. Go get your friggin' boyfriend, the retard toady, demonstrated liar, by the way, toe tagged twice dead. This guy 2 weeks ago didn't know that the non-visual part of the EM spectrum was light. I mean, this is the person that she's rubbing up against. So I just wanted her to come in and have them give their presentation and then speak to the topic that they said that you wouldn't answer their claims. That's why I got pissed.
Okay. That sounds like a good reason.
And with that, I'll say another huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the after show audience for tuning in, hopefully smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and all that good stuff. Of course, a massive thank you to all of our Discord and G+ servers for making this after shows possible. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!